Hi, I'm Fred with FnA Presents. Today we're talking about the recent release of Zack Snyder's Justice League that premiered on HBO Max, plus Falcon and Winter Soldier theories, Cyberpunk 2077, and much more. So stick around for all that, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy the show.
Hey!
We're back!
We're back!
Finally!
Yay.
Whew.
I know.
Been a rough couple days.
Yeah. We planned on recording this actually, 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yes.
But there was life.
Yeah. Well,
got in the way.
Work a day job, and
Yeah.
you're pretty busy during the day.
Yeah. But we also got kids.
Yeah.
And
That's what I mean.
kid stuff got in the way.
Kids
so.
keep you busy.
Yeah.
But we're back.
We're here.
Woo! Check
And,
this out.
Yeah, this is the bonus episode.
Ready?
Hey, it's me on the screen. Hey.
Yo, yo. And now it's me on the screen. Yo. What up?
Oh, Lord. And now it's both of us.
And now we're both on here.
Hey. Yeah.
We got a good bit to get through today, so we're going to jump right into this bad boy.
Yes, this is the bonus episode, the Snyder Cut review.
Yeah.
So.
Before we get into the Snyder Cut, I got two quick things I wanted to go over.
Okay.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier
Yes.
just dropped their second episode.
I loved it so much better than the first episode.
Yes, it's definitely starting to ramp up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to have another episode, a regular episode, on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
But I got a theory I got to get off my chest. Okay, we met Joaquin Torres in the first episode.
Yes.
And he was in the second episode a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that in the comic books, he is the replacement Falcon whenever Sam Wilson, whenever he becomes Captain America,
Yeah.
that kid ends up taking the Falcon mantle.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And in the comic books, he gets powers by a scientist that's being controlled by the power broker.
Okay.
We got a name drop of the power broker in this previous episode. All right. So in the comics, he gets captured by the power broker, gets experimented on.
Who was the power broker in this past episode?
Remember when the Flag Smashers were loading up on the airplane, and they're like, we got to go because then people are coming.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's the power brokers, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't met him yet, but they mentioned his name.
Okay.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah.
Anyway, and like I said, in the comic books, he gets captured by the power broker, and he experiments on him and does he combines him with Sam Wilson's bird, Red Wing, which in the comics is a real bird. In the MCU, it's the drone.
Yeah.
Which just got destroyed.
Don't spill too much. That's for
yeah, that'll be for the next episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that Joaquin Torres is gonna get captured before the end of this season. In the next episode or two. I think that's why they showed us him going after the group by himself.
Okay.
Or by himself, remember?
Okay.
And he got his ass whooped in episode 1.
Yeah.
That might be a foreshadowing of him going out again on his own, but this time he's going to get captured.
Yeah.
And he's going to get captured by the power broker, and he's going to tinker around with him in some way or another.
Yeah.
And then he'll end up getting some type of powers or something out of it. That's my theory.
If your theory comes true,
Mm-hmm.
then you're a fucking genius.
Well, it's pretty awesome.
Hey, real quick, I just want to show people that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Got my new shirt. WandaVision.
It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Is that a better? Hold on. Is that better?
That's
There we go. Where'd you get it?
I got it online. I got it on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
And it is from the Marvel shop.
Okay.
And it was only like $22.99,
Okay.
I believe.
All right.
So, yeah.
I like it. It reminds me of, was it the second episode that opened up with, like, the Bewitched?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what this is like.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, I love it because I wanted a WandaVision shirt so bad.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Amazon. You know, we do a lot of Amazon orders. And so I went on there and I saw that they had all kinds, not just these shirts, but they have all kinds of different WandaVision merchandise. And a lot of it is through Marvel. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's comfy and it looks great. So
No affiliation.
no
See,
sponsorship.
Even though
here.
you're selling the hell out of that shirt.
I'm selling the shirt. No sponsors.
It's
or
pretty
nothing.
awesome. It's an awesome shirt.
I'm just saying I'm excited because I finally got my WandaVision shirt.
How about my shirt? I want to show you my
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah, you got your flannel going on there.
This is my gray and blue flannel.
Yes.
I picked up on clearance from Walmart. And it's soft and it has buttons.
It has buttons.
And I like it.
One thing that people will notice is that I own no shirts with buttons.
No shirts with buttons?
Because since I was a kid, I hated shirts with buttons.
Yeah.
I hate buttons. I don't like buttons. It's like almost like I have a fear of buttons. Like
Yeah?
I don't like
That's
holes
weird.
gathered together. I had that fear. I don't know what it's called, like tryptophobia or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like holes, like a bunch of holes together, like gathered.
Yeah.
It freaks me out. I also have arachnophobia, but I hate buttons. I don't like buttons. Ever since I was a kid, my mom and dad can attest to
Well,
that.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Well, I was about to say, we've been married 15 years, and have you ever seen me own a shirt with buttons? No.
I don't think so.
You're correct. I have never had a shirt with buttons.
No button shirts.
No.
Okay.
I hate buttons.
Well, on that note,
Let's get on to the Snyder Cut.
Well, not yet. I got a little bit of Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Jumping the gun.
I know. I'm used to it by now. It's usually you jump the gun, and then I'll bring you back a couple steps, and it's all good.
Okay.
We're soon to be on the same page, though.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Cyberpunk, okay, that was one of my most anticipated games of last year.
Yes. You were really excited for it.
You heard me talk a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I didn't have a PC capable of running it, so I got it on the PlayStation 4 and played it for, I don't know, a few days.
Yeah.
And then I found out that Sony was giving away refunds. Mm-hmm. And I was with one of I was in with the group that was very disappointed.
Yeah.
With the product that we were given.
Yes.
Granted, I understand the situation. There was a big push for the game to be released.
Mm-hmm.
And so they released it basically unfinished.
Yeah.
And the console versions that came out were they weren't even playable, really. So I applied for the refund, and they put out a few hot patches, and I played it. After the hot patches, it fixed a little bit, and I was playing it on the PS4 Pro. On the standard PS4, it wouldn't even play at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played maybe about half the campaign, and then that refund kicked in. I'd forgotten all about it. I went to play it the one day, and I went to boot the thing up, and it said it was no longer available.
Yeah,
they
that's
just
right.
completely cut me off, and then I went and looked, and they didn't even have it on the store anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we got this PC recently, so I downloaded it again, and I'm telling you what, it's night and day.
Yeah.
There is no comparison between the console versions of this game and the PC version of this game.
The PC version, I can tell it definitely looks better. The graphics, everything.
Yes. One example.
Definitely night and day.
Okay.
Yeah.
One example is like the background NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
In the console version, you'd be in like a central area of the city, and there'd be maybe a handful of other characters just randomly walking around to just give you that immersion feel.
Mm-hmm.
In the PC version, you can barely even count them. I mean, they just keep spawning. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And the vehicles too. When you're in like like a high traffic area.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a high traffic area, there's actually like traffic jams and cars wrecking into each other and stuff. Versus like when you get out into like the desert, the traffic patterns change completely to more of a realistic feel. It's not a perfect game yet. There's still a few more patches that are supposed to be coming out. We were thinking that patch 1.2 was going to come out this past Friday, but once again, it didn't drop. And once again, they didn't release any news on when it's going to be coming out. So there's also a free DLC, I guess, that's supposed to be coming out for it.
Okay.
But they haven't really put out a date for that either. So,
Well,
stay tuned. I'll have a little bit more on Cyberpunk as I get a little deeper into it.
absolutely.
So,
Because you like that game a lot.
it's fun.
Yes, it is.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I can finally play it and appreciate it for what it is now.
The best part that I love is in the beginning when you first start the game.
Mm-hmm.
You get to make your character, and you get to choose to be a female or a male. And the cool thing, or I should say the funny thing about the male.
Yeah,
I've
never seen anything like this on a game. But
Yes.
go ahead. I'll let you tell this story.
On the male version, you get to choose the size of your dick, the size of your penis. Yes. You can have an itty bitty one. You can have like an average
Big old
one,
hogger.
or you can have the big old dong.
And you don't have to be the male. You could be a male or female and choose to have a big donger as well.
Oh, so you could actually be a tranny if
yes,
you want.
you can be a tran and have a big donger in Cyberpunk 2077.
It matches
or
with today's day and age.
Well, or the other way around, if you're a male and want to have a nice shaved vag, you can have a nice shaved vag. Or if you would like to have a heart-shaped kind of shape in your pubic region,
you can have that.
You can have that as well.
So yeah, like let's say you choose the big old dong.
Big dong.
You can have just a big old bush like back in the 70s, 80s bush.
Yeah, big bush. Also, little dong. You can have a little dong. And you can have a sheathed dong, a circumcised dong, or an uncircumcised dong.
That's right. Yeah.
So you could get the old anteater.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have the anteater.
The old anteater. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's I was
It's
shocked.
fun.
I was like, what the hell?
I was playing it last night.
Yeah.
And part of the mission, you had to go into like this drug house and kill all these junkies and shit.
Okay.
And you go in there, and I could see there was like a nightstand, and the drawer was open a little bit, and there was a dildo in it. It was pink, and it looked like you could plug it in.
Vibrator.
Yes.
Ah,
And
nice.
there's also a bat.
A bat?
That's a big donger. It's like a big old donger, and you can beat people with it. It's a dong beater.
So it was a dildo, but yet you could use it as a bat.
Fucking thing was this big.
Oh my God. That's one thing I don't get about fucking women that have these like big long dildos.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
We're gonna get to the Snyder Cut, people. I promise.
Yeah, all I want to say is, women. Yeah, we got the hole.
Yeah.
But it only goes in so far.
Yeah.
I mean, you use a big old schlong like that. This could be like reaching.
It's gonna break
stomach.
Things.
Yeah.
It's gonna break things.
It could be coming up through your stomach, like out your fucking mouth.
Out your mouth, and Zack Snyder's Justice League just dropped on HBO.
Good segue.
Last Friday, or Thursday, I should say.
Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday. Yes. Last Thursday.
Unbelievable.
Yes. It is actually broken into 6 parts.
Thank God. The thing was, it was 4 hours long.
Okay.
It was a half a shift.
These are my gripes here.
Right. Okay. Right off the get.
Right off the get. These are the gripes. Okay. Number 1, I thought it was too long. It was too long. He didn't need to make it 4 hours long. He really didn't need to make it that long. Number 2, even though Martian Manhunter, is really cool and, he has all kinds of cool powers and everything, he did not fit in this movie. He didn't need to be in this movie. Like, he was...
He was fan service. He was fan service.
He was fan service.
People wanted to see him, and he was part of the original, vision that he had. But he wasn't really going to have a main role until the later movies.
Yeah,
and I get it. He was unneeded.
He didn't fit.
Yeah,
he didn't fit in this movie. Okay, I understand in the comics and everything he was part of the Justice League of America. I get that, but in this movie.
Well, the one scene in particular that they used him,
yes,
it kind of took everything, like all the emotional weight from that scene that we just watched.
Are you talking about Lois?
When Lois and his mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lois and Clark's mother.
Yes. Martha.
Yes.
Yeah. There was no reason for it to be like, oh, it was actually Martian Manhunter. No, there was no reason for that.
Yeah.
It should have been, it was Martha going to speak to Lois because Lois was having a hard time coping with the fact
and
that
she
Clark
was trying to talk her into,
moving
on and re-entering the world because she had become pretty much a shut-in.
Yeah, she was like a hermit.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be the same way if, God forbid, I lost you, I'd be like a shell of myself.
All right, what other gripes you got so we can start getting into this thing?
Excuse me. The music for Wonder Woman. Well, every fucking scene.
The first time I watched it, I didn't really notice it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't really notice it too much.
Me neither.
But then we watched Screen Rant's pitch meeting on YouTube.
Yes.
He does these videos on a bunch of different movies.
He is so funny.
Very good.
You guys got to check him out.
And he did one for the recent Justice League, and every time Wonder Woman shows up.
Yes.
And if I can't unhear it now. Every time Wonder Woman shows up in the movie, the Amazonian song starts playing.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Yes. And one more, I love Zack Snyder's, films. I do. But the overdoing it of slow motion in this movie, he definitely overdid it.
Yes.
Definitely overdid it.
It wouldn't be a Zack Snyder movie without slow motion, but I get it.
I get that.
It was definitely
overdone.
Overdone, yeah.
Yes. Every fucking scene.
You could easily shaved a good 15 minutes off that movie by getting rid of some of them, some of the slow motion scenes.
You could shave 2 hours off that movie.
Be realistic.
It's just... That's probably why it was extended to 4 hours, because of the amount of slow motion.
For all the slow motion.
Yes.
Well.
Yes. So, those are my gripes. I'm sure I have more as we go through, as we talk about it.
You're full of them.
It's just, yeah.
So we'll breeze through it.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna go through scene by scene, part by part.
Yeah.
We got 6 parts and an epilogue. Or we got an intro.
Yeah, we got an intro,
an
6 parts,
epilogue,
and then an epilogue.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the intro opens up with Superman dying.
Yes.
This is from the end of Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
And who's he fighting? Doomsday.
Yeah.
And at the end of Batman versus Superman, Superman gets killed.
Yeah. In the beginning.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen these movies, sorry, I'm not even putting out a spoiler warning because they're all pretty much the same movies.
Yeah.
And
if somebody clicks on this video or podcast, they're going to see Snyder Cut and
yes,
they're going to
obviously.
know. Yeah. But at the beginning of this movie, yes, you see Superman dying and you see the shockwaves coming off of him as he's
Now, that's one thing I didn't get is I get it. It was a cool visual.
Yeah.
Superman and the shockwaves coming out of his mouth as he's dying, and then you see the shockwaves going across the harbor into the city and all over the world.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Even underwater, even Atlantis, you've seen the shockwaves going through the water.
Yeah.
And that's what wakes up the mother boxes?
Yeah, that
okay.
kind of, yeah, I don't get that.
Now, also, later in the movie, Steppenwolf, he makes that comment of, there's no Kryptonians here, no lanterns, no protectors.
Okay.
All right? Well, one, how do they know about Kryptonians?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're only strong on Earth.
Yeah.
They're just regular people on their own planet. It's our yellow sun is what gives Superman his power.
Yeah.
On Krypton, he was just like you and I.
Mm-hmm.
So how do they know about Kryptonians? It's not like they were a presence in the universe, I guess. I don't know that much about it.
I have no clue.
If you know more about this and you want to tell me I'm totally wrong, tell me all about it in the comments. Rock on.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no clue.
Anyway, it was a cool visual, but I mean that was kind of unneeded,
unnecessary.
That's pretty much the first part. Is you get some shots of Bruce Wayne walking through the mountains.
Yeah, he's riding to the Norwegian village.
Yes.
Yes.
For Aquaman. Which in the original Joss Whedon cut, this part didn't happen till much later in the movie.
Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the original Justice League.
That's right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This part, I don't think this part came in till much later in the movie. So anyway, after that, we jump right into part 1 called "Don't Count on It, Batman." And this is where Bruce meets Arthur Curry, played by Jason Momoa.
Yes.
In the Norwegian village.
Mm-hmm. With hesitation, Bruce busted out cash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the people in the bar and Arthur Curry weren't buying it at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even overall, they weren't buying it. They even kind of took offense to the money.
A little, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he actually did bust out the cash there at the end when Arthur had him up against the wall. Then we jumped to outside, and Arthur's walking towards the water, and it's basically like, "You're crazy, Bruce Wayne.
Okay,
I'm not helping out. I'm not. I don't even help my own people.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that I'm gonna drop what I'm doing to come help you?
Yeah. Okay. This is another gripe. I completely forgot about it.
Mm.
The yodeling scene.
Yes.
What the fuck does this have to do with?
No, I agree with you. It was too long.
This weird fucking Swedish girl grabs his sweater and smells it.
She started sniffing it.
Yeah, she starts smelling it, and all the while there's these ladies in the background and they're freaking like yodeling, singing, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was such a weird scene, and again, slow motion and it was. It didn't need to be in there. For what reason? For what reason were these girls singing and smelling the one smelling his sweat. Like, why? It never came back to it. It never explained why.
It was just a random scene.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It was stupid. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Here's my question: Do they sniff the sweater, all his clothes? Every time he drops a shirt off, do they grab it up and smell it?
Who fucking knows?
What do you think? What do you think it smells like?
Fish.
Arthur Curry's shirt.
It smells like salt water and fish.
Salt water and fish. Dolphin.
And sweat.
Dolphin
and
slime.
BO. Sweat and BO too.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, Arthur Aquaman, he looks like he stinks.
Yeah.
He does. He looks like he's a stinky guy.
He could be.
He looks like he's a very stinky guy.
Arthur or Jason Momoa?
Not Jason Momoa.
Just Aquaman.
Yeah, he looks like he stinks.
He probably smells like fish.
He smells like fish and whiskey.
Fish and whiskey.
He's always drinking whiskey.
Tuna and whiskey.
Tuna and whiskey, yep.
That's sexy. Okay.
So then after that, we catch up with Martha Kent and Lois Lane.
Yes. Very briefly, we see that Martha sold the farm.
Yeah.
And she's driving away with the U-Haul.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And
was sad.
Lois, she's all depressed and withdrawn. It's kind of a montage. It's just a real quick scene.
I'm sorry. I said this from the get-go, but I do not like Amy Adams as Lois Lane.
No?
I do not. No. I can't stand her as Lois Lane.
Why? I like her as Lois Lane.
I don't. She to me, she doesn't fit the character, and she doesn't seem like...
Because she's a redhead?
No. It has nothing to do with she's a redhead. It's just the fact that, from the comics and, from other movies, the cartoons, I mean, everything, to me, in my mind, she doesn't fit Lois Lane. Number one, she doesn't fit her. Two, I don't think the passion is there from her. Like...
I don't know if that's so much just
Henry
Cavill.
Henry Cavill, I think, plays
or
an amazing
that
Superman.
style of movie, though. You know what I mean? Because I've seen Amy Adams in other things, and she can play a very wide range of characters.
I'm not saying anything against Amy Adams. Okay, I'm saying Amy Adams as Lois Lane does not fit for me.
Okay,
and I'm saying that the passion and everything that is supposed to be Lois Lane towards Clark Kent, towards Superman, I just don't see it. There's a lot of people that feel that way. The chemistry and everything, they do not feel that way, and I agree with them as well. Henry Cavill, he plays an amazing Superman. Clark Kent, he does a great job with it, but I'm just saying those two, like the chemistry between those two don't fit. And Amy Adams is Lois Lane.
If not Amy Adams, who then? Who's your fan cast? Do you have a fan cast for the Snyderverse? For a different Lois Lane? If you had your choice?
I'd never really thought about it. Never really thought about it too much.
Well, ponder on that one and have an answer for me next week.
Okay. But I'm just saying, Amy Adams, nah.
Okay.
Doesn't do it for me.
Well, after we catch up with Martha and Lois, we meet up with Wonder Woman at the bank. This is the first, first big action sequence.
And here comes the Amazonian music.
Well, it's every time. Every time Wonder Woman shows up, you get the music.
Yes. Did you want to take this scene?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, there's a group of terrorists there. And this scene also didn't really make much sense because it was like, they were there and they were trying to blow up a bank full of people.
Well, that was their whole goal, was to just destroy.
Just not take the money.
There's a bunch of suicide bombers.
Just kill people.
And they were planning on taking more than just that building out. That bomb was supposedly going to take out like 6 blocks or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. It's just like, okay, if...
You also fell asleep a couple times during the movie.
I did, because it's so fucking long. I was awake at this point. It's the beginning of the movie. It's so fucking long. But, no, it doesn't make sense.
All right,
they go to a bank. Why wouldn't they want to take the money?
The terrorists show up, and because they're dying. Why would they need money? They're suicide bombers.
Well, I didn't realize that they were suicide bombers. It's just why go to a bank?
Well, if
to kill yourself?
if you have a bad guy and you're gonna blow yourself up, that makes you a suicide bomber.
I get that, but why to go to a bank to kill yourself?
Maybe it was the central point of where they wanted to blow up.
I guess. I don't know.
I think you're overanalyzing this a little bit.
I guess. I don't know.
Where are we at? Group of terrorists show up to take over the bank.
Yeah,
and then Wonder Woman shows up
to save the day.
And I love this scene. I'm the complete opposite. Cool. I thought it was super awesome.
No, when she comes in and does her
I like
shit,
when she throws that dude up against the wall and splatters his head all up against the wall. You remember that?
Yes, and I love when she does the thing with the arms,
the bullets,
and boom, boom, boom,
the bullet catch was pretty badass.
It does the famous.
Yep, her music. Yes.
Yeah. I was glad they brought her original music.
Oh,
back.
you get plenty of the Amazonian music in this movie. Don't worry.
No, the Wonder Woman.
Now here's something I wanted. We were talking earlier about the length of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something they could have cut, and it would have made the scene make more sense to me. Towards the end, after she does that amazing bullet stop thing.
Yeah.
All right. She the bad guy, the last bad guy that's left, he does the super fast bullet dodge, or bullet block, I should say. She does a super fast bullet block, and then the last guy's there. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you blocked all my bullets," and he drops his magazine and grabs another one and loads his fucking rifle again and charges it, all while Wonder Woman's just standing there watching him do this. And then as he charges it, that's when she does the bracelet thing, her bracelet blast, and blows half the fucking building up.
Yes.
And the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's what I'm getting at. If you could have cut that whole reload scene out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, the chick just blocked a whole clip of bullets.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna stand. Was she catching her fucking breath?
I have no idea. One thing I didn't get to was, okay.
You know what I mean?
There's all these people. Okay, you got the adults, and there's a lot of kids.
Okay.
And they're all up against the wall. And Wonder Woman's saving the day. Okay? When she did her boom and blast them out the wall, half the building gone. Did the kids really need to see that? Did they need to see a guy getting blown up?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
She blew that dude to pieces in half the building.
Yeah, and the kids are there like...
And not on top of that, the shrapnel coming off of that explosion.
Yeah.
And you're taking the chance of collapse.
Exactly. Yep. They didn't need it.
Come on, Diana.
Yeah.
You know better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway, after the bank, where do we go?
Themyscira.
Oh, yes, the Themyscira when Steppenwolf shows up, right?
Yeah, the Mother
Mother's
box is cracked. And
the Mother box.
Yeah, it's cracked, and Steppenwolf comes for it. There. I got it out.
Yes.
I couldn't speak for a minute.
Steppenwolf shows up, and he comes out of a boom tube. That's what those are called. That big, the portal that he shows up in.
Oh, it's called a boom tube?
In the comic books, it's called a boom tube.
I just called it a big ray of light.
Here's a fun fact. Steppenwolf, Darkseid, were both created by the same guy that created Thanos, Jack Kirby.
Ah. Sounds like he has some issues then.
Maybe.
I think he has some issues.
He may have.
Coming up with characters like them, the dude got some issues.
That's not the only characters he came up with. He came up with a few awesome hero types as well.
No, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Steppenwolf shows up through his boom tube.
Okay.
And a bunch of parademons as well come out. And
those fucking bug-looking dudes, right?
Yes.
They look like giant bugs.
Yes.
Human bugs.
when
don't like 'em. I
when
don't like 'em.
Darkseid takes over a planet and transforms it, he'll transform the planet into similar to his own, and all the living beings, humans, aliens, whatever beings are living on that planet,
Yeah.
they get turned into those things.
Okay.
Yeah. So if Darkseid would come here and take over our planet, we would get to turn into big bugs,
No.
big bug people.
I'll kill myself before I become a giant bug person.
When
No.
Steppenwolf comes out of that boom tube,
Mm-hmm.
he I like the line he has. He's like, "I've come to enlighten you to the great darkness."
Yeah.
What was the next part? I will feast on your fear. What the hell does he
that's
say?
what it is.
Bathe. I will bathe in your fear.
That, yeah.
And then the Amazonian queen, he was like, "Daughters of the Mascara, show them your fear." And they're like, "We have no fear."
Yep.
That part was so badass.
I
And then
know.
they all attacked him.
I loved whenever the queen, she slid under the when the wall was coming down, because all the rest of the Amazonians, they were
Yes,
fighting off
they
the
got-
bug people and all that shit.
They got the mother box. The queen got the mother box, and
Yeah.
she took off running. They were blocking Steppenwolf inside the temple, and she had a bunch of Amazonians lined up on her way out, and they took out the pillars.
Yeah.
And the whole thing comes crashing down, sacrificing many
Yeah.
of the Amazonian sisters.
Oh yeah.
And that whole section of temple went crashing into the ocean.
Yeah. And she was actually standing on the cliff looking down at it.
Yeah.
It was falling.
It was sad.
It was sad. yeah,
Thinking
'cause
about all the women that she had just
saw,
lost.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, all my sisters
Yeah.
are gone,
But then what?
Mm.
Then Steppenwolf comes
comes
flying up out of there
with the bug freaking people.
with the bug
again.
people.
I don't
and
like
his
them.
and his lightning axe, his electro axe.
Yeah, Steppenwolf is a dick.
Yeah, his axe is pretty badass though. He
Yeah.
starts going after the Amazonians,
And they're on horses at
and
this
they're on
point.
horses.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
The action sequences in this movie were phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I like the part when the one Amazonian chick, she tied the mother box up with her arrow,
Mhm.
and she pulled back, and she fired the arrow at the last minute. And if you watch her face, her eyes and her mouth start lighting up from the lightning coming off of Steppenwolf's axe.
Oh,
And
wow.
it cuts at the last minute, and she just in the nick of time, she gets to fire that arrow off,
Mhm.
and she dies too.
I know, unfortunately.
And then how about when Steppenwolf grabbed the reins of the horses
Oh, whipped
And
them
he
around
flipped-
like rag dolls. He
and
did.
he flipped them
whipped
around?
like rag dolls. Just-
Smash! It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Um.
But eventually they got away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Steppenwolf won that battle, and he got away with the first mother box.
Yes, yes. But I'm saying the queen and the others, they were able to get away.
They survived.
Yeah, they survived.
They survived, but Steppenwolf got the box. He got the first box. And
Yeah.
He got away.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He was about to take that queen out too.
Yeah,
But you seen all the soldiers that first chick. Remember when the battle first started? He sent that one girl back to the castle to get the rest of the women to come and help save the day. And they showed up just at the nick of time because I think Steppenwolf was going to take out the queen.
Yeah, I do too. But there was just you could see there was just a ton of Amazonians coming down from the mountainside.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of Lord of the Rings.
A little bit, yeah.
Do you remember that? I think it was the third one. It's been so long since I've seen those movies.
Oh God, me too. It's been a long time.
Girls have been asking about them, so we're probably gonna be doing a Lord of the Rings rewatch here at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that leads us into part 2.
The Age of Heroes.
The Age of Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Steppenwolf gets his first of many scenes that do a way better job of explaining his motivations.
Mm-hmm.
The first, the original Whedon cut, everything Steppenwolf did, I mean, didn't really make sense at all.
Yeah.
He kept calling the mother boxes mother. We had no idea why he was calling these boxes mother, and he would talk to them.
Yeah.
We got a little more context in this movie where they told us that the boxes are actually like a living technology,
Mm-hmm.
and they house like a sentient being. Each one of them has a witch in it.
Well, Joss Whedon
Is a peckerhead.
Yeah, he's peckerhead.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He didn't do the first version any justice
it was
whatsoever.
between him and Warner Brothers Studios at the time, and the
Yeah.
time restrictions that they were putting on them, and the reshoots. There's a whole mess of reasons why that first movie was a mess.
Yeah, it's just.
But
it's
we
just
get
the
more
fact that,
context
yeah,
on Steppenwolf,
he sucks.
and they don't really come out and say exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is at one time, Steppenwolf tried to take over the throne that Darkseid holds.
Mm-hmm.
Steppenwolf is Darkseid's uncle.
Is Darkseid's uncle.
Yes.
So then why does...
Darkseid's mother was the former queen.
Okay, wait, you said Darkseid was Steppenwolf's... Or no, Steppenwolf is Dark's...
Steppenwolf is Darkseid's uncle.
Okay, so then why does Steppenwolf, like, bow down to his nephew?
Because he's the king. Like,
the nephew is the king.
yeah. It'd be like Tyrion Lannister having to kneel to Joffrey. Because he's a fucking peckerhead, but he's the king.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't even get me started on Joffrey.
So, Steppenwolf is the uncle of Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to overthrow him at one time, and because of this, he was cast out.
Okay.
That's why when he's talking to Desaad's like, you still owe this many worlds before you can come home.
Okay.
Okay? And that kind of gives you an idea of Steppenwolf's desperation. He's been cast out of his home. He's been gone for thousands of years, and he's ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And later on in the movie, we'll get to it, but he eventually does get to see Darkseid, and this is the first time that he's seen him in over 1,000 years.
Okay.
So,
So after this is when we meet Silas Stone.
yes, Silas Stone at Star Labs.
Yes, Silas is actually the father of Victor Stone,
Yes.
a.k.a. Cyborg.
Yeah, who had a much bigger role in this movie as well.
Yes, and you know what? I liked his storyline. I liked his story arc and everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was, some of the parts were kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it touched a little close to home a little bit on a couple things.
Yeah.
But, we meet Silas Stone at Star Labs, and there's this is when there was a parademon attack, right? There was a parademon attack in the lab.
Yes.
And then we get an introduction to the father-son relationship between Silas and Victor.
Yeah, Victor, he kind of, like, wants nothing to do with his dad.
Nothing at all. He
Yeah.
blames his father for his mother's death.
Yeah, and he also is pissed off that his dad made him cyborg,
Yes.
basically.
Well, his dad was always working.
Yes.
His dad was never able to like make it to his football games. That was the example that they gave us in the movie.
Yeah.
That Cyborg, you know, he was a big football star and he was doing good in school, and they showed us a football game later on that his mother came to.
Yeah.
And she always made time to come to the games. But his dad never made it to the games.
Yeah.
And we hear them talking about this later in the car after the game, and they're driving, and this happens later in the movie. But
Yeah.
it's Victor and his mother.
Yeah. And the mom, is making excuses for him.
Yes.
And saying, he wanted to be here, and
he tries.
he tries, but he just works so hard for us, and yada yada yada. Same old
Right.
spiel you hear in a lot of movies and everything. And Victor's like, yo, okay, whatever. You can see that he's upset because he wants his dad to be there, but then all of a sudden, car accident. Smash.
Yeah.
Another car comes from the side and smashes into the side of the car. The mom unfortunately dies, and we see that Victor is in the hospital, and he's basically like on life support.
Yeah.
Because
He was messed up.
Basically he's a torso and has one arm.
Yeah.
That's about it. The other arm is like from his elbow up, and yeah, his dad was like...
His dad walks up to the body, or,
Yeah.
What's left of his son's body,
Mhm.
and starts breaking down, and he's like, I'm not going to let you die.
Yeah.
I won't allow it,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I won't allow it. And he starts crying, and
Doesn't he use... what does he use to... Does he use the mother box to make...
Yes, he uses the mother box to bring him back.
Yeah, like
it jumps around a little bit. So I
Yeah.
got lost there for a second because the story of Cyborg is kind of broken up throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And his dad does eventually use the mother box to bring him back. And we get a quick glimpse of that at a point in this movie where we see Cyborg.
Mhm.
He's kind of up on this wall, and the mother box's energy starts like pulsating through him, and you
Yeah.
can see the cybernetic limbs starting to appear.
Well, back where we were saying, we met Silas at Star Labs and everything.
Yes.
Then it goes into the intro to the father-son, relationship between Silas and Victor.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have one of the mother boxes in their closet in
Yes.
the apartment
Yes.
that they live in.
Yeah, it wasn't. Victor was standing there at
Yeah.
the closet, kind of hovering over, like looking at it.
Yeah, and Silas...
being kind of shitty towards his dad.
Yeah, and his dad was telling him that it's not safe being in that closet.
And he left the recorder for him.
Yes, that's right.
He's like, if you can't stand to look at me,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can manage to listen to me.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And he set the tape recorder down.
Yeah.
And rolled out.
Mm-hmm. Because he was telling Victor that, that mother box, it's not safe in that closet.
No.
They're going to find it,
Right.
we need to get it the fuck out of here, basically. And
At this point, Cyborg, he got
this...
blockers up.
Yeah.
He ain't listening to anything his father has to say.
Nah, he's basically being a, arrogant asshole right now.
After this is when we see Diana again.
Yes.
And she sees the
at
news story. Sees at her work.
Yeah.
And she was like dusting off a statue or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it triggers a news story. She sees it, and they're talking about this ancient temple that caught fire.
That's right. And she sees it on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She sees it on the news, and this is where earlier the Amazonians had fired an arrow.
Her mom did.
Yeah, this magic arrow that could fly thousands of miles and land at a very specific spot.
Yep.
And catch it on fire.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
And then, Diana's in the right place at the right time to catch the news story.
Mm-hmm.
So she can roll out there and check it out, which leads to her to a temple that's below this place, like hundreds of feet. She jumps down this huge ass hole.
Yeah.
And then the arrow that they fired at her is actually a key.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one MacGuffin after a MacGuffin after a MacGuffin to get to the next plot point.
I know.
But whatever, I dug it. She goes and she finds this old temple, and it's telling the story of Darkseid. Remember, had a picture of Darkseid on the wall.
Yeah.
And she has her torch that she made from gasoline and a hunk of her skirt or some shit.
I know. It's just like, how convenient.
Oh, what? Did they play her music in that part?
There was a little... No, not the Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman theme only played in the beginning at the bank.
Okay.
All the other music was what the guy played.
Okay.
in that skit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, a little bit of it was playing in the background.
All right.
So.
After the temple, we got a lot to get through here.
Mm-hmm.
After the temple,
Go back
is
to Aquaman.
Aquaman. Yeah, he saves the sailor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They all save somebody. We all get a bunch of clips of the different characters.
Yeah.
And he saves this sailor that's out in the water, and he takes him back, and he throws him on a table in one of these little Norwegian towns again.
Yeah.
Right?
And then he gets some drinks.
And then he gets some whiskey.
Yeah.
And then he takes his shirt off again. Now,
of course.
Now, he was already out in the water.
Yeah.
And he had that wet shirt on.
Yeah.
So why did he take it off?
I have no fucking idea. Aquaman makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Aquaman?
Would you
don't
rather
care for. Don't care for.
Would you rather have who would be a good example? I can't think of a good actor to play him, but somebody with like short, bright, bleach blonde hair and like old school, and he talked to dolphins like cuckoo.
No, I'm saying Aquaman, period.
Yeah.
Aquaman, period.
Yeah.
Don't care for. I think he's a shitty fucking character.
Yeah.
I don't like him. And not to mention, he's a dick in all these movies. He is.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dick.
He's like badass.
Yeah, badass.
All right. Well, right after he saves the sailor.
Yeah.
Then he takes his shirt off, drinks the whiskey, and jumps back in the water. Mm-hmm. And he goes to, it looks like it's like a statue of his father.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is when Willem Dafoe shows up as Falco.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Aquaman movie as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You take it. I want nothing to do with Aquaman.
Okay. Well, we get a different Willem Dafoe. His hair's kind of long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's talking to Arthur about, you need to take up the mantle. You need to come back to Atlantis. Your brother-in-law. He's kind of segueing into some of the events that happened in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, Arthur refuses and moves on. Then we go to Steppenwolf and Desaad. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, they make contact through some type of molten steel projection.
That's what it looked like. It looked like a hunk of steel.
Yeah.
Right there, Steppenwolf made this stronghold that's in like an old power plant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And before he stuck the mother box into it, it looked like he took just a old piece of steel.
Yeah.
And propped it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he stuck the mother box into it, and then it got all melty. It looked like molten steel.
Yeah.
And Desaad comes through it.
Yeah, and Desaad asked, basically, if he begun his conquest.
Yeah.
And then Steppenwolf tells him, this world is too divided to come together to protect themselves. And basically, they're a primitive race.
I think this is when he said the line of "There are no protectors here, no Kryptonians, no lanterns." I think this is where he said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He has one of the three boxes, but he basically is on track to know where the others are at. Like,
yes.
Like he has a scent of where the others are at, and basically, what parademons are taken prisoners too, right?
He has parademons out taking prisoners.
Yeah.
And they have the scent of the mother boxes.
That's right. Well, I already said, they had the scent of the mother boxes.
Right, and they're tracking them down, and he's telling Desaad all this, and, he's trying to talk him into, after I get this, can I come home? And he's like, you still got more shit to do.
And while this is going on, Steppenwolf is actually building a sanctuary for Darkseid, too, because he wants Darkseid. Like, he's doing all this for Darkseid.
Right.
Because Darkseid is his master. And,
yep.
They basically want to destroy this planet.
Yeah.
That's their ultimate goal.
This is where Desaad kind of gives you, like, a brief history of Steppenwolf, where he's like, mighty Steppenwolf, you may have sat here at one time.
Yeah.
By Darkseid's side.
Mm-hmm.
But undone by your own doing. And that's what I was telling you about earlier, about how he tried to dethrone Darkseid at one time.
That's when he falls to his knees.
Yes. He's like desperate.
Yes.
For redemption.
Yes.
He just wants to go home, man.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, he's denied.
Yep.
And then he gets up, and he says his protector line right here.
That's where it is. There are no protectors here, no lanterns, no Kryptonian. This world will fall like all the others.
That was a line that was in the original trailers.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
everyone was kind of excited from that line. It was in the original trailers for the movie before Whedon had taken over. They had like a sizzle reel that they had dropped, and that actual line never made it in the final movie, in the Whedon cut.
Okay,
but now it's back. Zach brought it back. Well,
good for you, Zach. Good for you.
Good job, Zach.
So then we move on. Diana is actually with Bruce. And she is telling Bruce the story about the battle against Darkseid.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And there is...
Yes. Yes. This is such an awesome part of the movie.
It was. It's an awesome, awesome battle scene.
Yes.
With the old gods, the Atlanteans, the Amazonians, men, and a Green Lantern.
There was a Green Lantern too.
There's one Green Lantern.
Yes,
we've seen.
Wait, they had a Green Lantern in the original one, and I seen there was a side-by-side comparison I watched on YouTube where they took the exact same scene from the original Whedon cut, and then from this cut, and in the original one, it wasn't Darkseid in this battle. It was Steppenwolf. Okay. And Steppenwolf was fighting the Green Lantern instead of Darkseid, and he didn't cut his hand off.
Okay.
That was something new that they added into this. When Darkseid, he chopped his hand off, and it went rolling, then the ring came off. That was new.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
The cool thing was in the battle, they had the old gods, Zeus, Ares, and Artemis. I thought that was pretty cool.
Zeus, he was played by, I should have wrote his name down. He's a Spanish bodybuilder. For a moment, I thought his arms were like kind of CGI'd up a little bit.
He was the one with the lightning, right?
Yeah.
I was about to say, he looked familiar.
His arms like almost didn't look real. They were so big.
Exactly. But like I said, he looked really familiar. I was like, why does that guy look so familiar?
Yeah. He was in the original cut too.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen the original cut. We only seen the original cut one time, and we were like, well, that movie sucked.
Yeah, right. Now, there was another part in this that was super badass when they showed the old gods and they showed Ares.
Yeah.
And he went after Darkseid with that axe, and he come down, and he chopped fucking Darkseid right in the shoulder with that.
Oh my God, just
and you could see the blood kind of splatter out.
Big old chunk.
Yep. And I don't know if you noticed this, but the face on Ares was the same actor from the first Wonder Woman movie. That was who she faced off against at the end of that was Ares.
Yes, you pointed that out to me when we were watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, it is.
That was cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how they do that in other movies. They kind of keep the characters the same.
Yeah.
You know?
After Ares, chopped Darkseid with that axe, Darkseid's minions got a hold of him and drug him back onto the ship, and they fled.
Yeah, because they knew they were getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
They knew it.
But while Darkseid was there, when he slammed that hammer down, and do you remember when there was like that big symbol on the ground? That's the anti-life equation.
Okay.
That symbol is like some type of arithmetic that he can read.
Yeah.
And that's the equation that he wants.
Okay.
And it's on Earth somewhere.
I was gonna say one thing I noticed too was the Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he got defeated,
Yeah.
and the ring came off, and it like went flying. That's when I looked at you and I said, "Hey, it's going to Ryan Reynolds, right? It's going to Ryan Reynolds right now,
Yeah.
isn't it?" And you're
Yeah.
like, "Yes, it is."
Yeah. I heard Zack Snyder was he tried getting Ryan Reynolds to play a
Really?
cameo in this.
Ryan Reynolds is like, "Nah, I'm good.
He's
I'm
done.
good."
Yeah,
No.
he's done.
He's like, "No, no, I got my own character now.
Yeah.
So I'm Deadpool. Thanks.
Yep.
I'm good with Deadpool."
I can't wait for the next Deadpool.
Oh, me neither. I'm really excited for it.
All right, part 3.
Beloved mother, beloved son.
This starts off in Central City.
Yes.
Right off the get, there's a mech truck
Mm-hmm.
that comes into town.
Yes.
That truck has a name on the side of it. It's Gardner Fox.
Okay.
Gardner Fox is the creator of The Flash.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know that. It was something I learned.
Wow. Well,
Hold on.
anyways.
The more you know.
Anyways, we see Barry Allen,
Yeah.
and he's actually going in a pet store
Yes.
for a job interview.
Yes.
And he's actually running late
Yes.
for the job interview.
It's funny.
I loved this scene.
I
It was
love
so
that
cute.
if you watch Barry Allen, he's always late.
Yes.
And it's funny because he's so fast.
Yes.
He's the Flash. He's the
Yes.
fastest guy.
One thing that I loved about Barry Allen in this version
Yeah.
versus Joss Whedon, okay? And Joss Whedon
Is he got a story in this one?
Number one, he has a story. Number two, okay, in Joss Whedon's version, it was like he never was like confident in his powers and in himself. It was like he was always like real like skittish about it.
Mm-hmm.
But in this version, it was like he was confident in himself, and he okay, like when he was at the job interview
Mm-hmm.
and he seen Iris, he seen her and he was like taken
Oh, he
back.
eyed her
And-
down too.
Yeah. And then whenever
Is that what they call an eye fuck? He was eye fucking her.
Absolutely, that's an eye fuck. Yeah. So
The
anyways,
more you know.
so anyways, like okay, whenever she gets in the car and the truck crashes into her car, he came speeding out
Yes.
and he went to go save her, where in Joss Whedon's version it was like he never did that kind of stuff. Like he was always like
Well,
wasn't sure with himself, where in this
a prime example of what you're talking about. Like we didn't get this scene at all
exactly
in the other movie.
exactly
But in the other movie, we also got an unsure of himself Flash, like you're
Yes.
explaining.
yeah
And in the scene where they go after Steppenwolf at the harbor,
mm-hmm
in the original cut,
mm-hmm
Batman has to tell Barry
yeah
what to do.
exactly
He goes, save one person.
yeah
Just save one. And
Yeah.
then, like, knowing that now you'll know what to do. Okay,
Batman in Joss Whedon's version was also like
worthless.
worthless.
They made him worthless. He
Yeah.
was like the comedic sidekick.
I was just about to say he was a joke.
Yes.
He was a joke.
Barry Allen. What was I saying about him?
About how in Joss Whedon he was unsure.
Unsure of himself. Yeah, Batman had to tell him, to
Save one person.
Save one person.
Yeah.
And
Where in this
Yeah.
version, he went, he saved Iris, he grabbed his hot dog,
that was the
shoved
best.
it. Oh my god!
when he
that
grabbed
was-
the hot dog.
yeah, and put
right?
it in his pocket.
And then at the time, I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah, why is he grabbing just some random hot dog?
And he was like super happy about it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
He was like,
Yep.
right?
And then we see that he flashes back into the pet store
Yes.
and he's sitting with the dogs. I love that part. And the dogs are like all like over him because he goes,
busts out the
I
hot
always
dog.
like to have a meat snack with me,
Right.
and
Slick.
and the
Slick
lady
Barry.
there, the lady there that was interviewing him, she was just like in shock, like
Mhm.
basically, yeah, you got the job.
Right.
I thought that was cute. I loved that scene.
It was
loved
good.
it.
I liked when, like, right at the beginning of the crash, when he goes to like turn
Mm-hmm.
he rips out of his shoes.
Yeah,
His shoes like rip apart, and then he's barefooted.
I love that. Yeah.
And when he pushed on the glass, it was almost like water at first.
Yeah.
And then it shattered.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
I thought that
neat.
was really cool.
All of Barry's, Speed Force scenes in this movie were super cool.
Absolutely. I have nothing bad to say about any scenes of The Flash. Barry
Nothing
Allen.
bad to say about Barry.
Nothing bad about Barry in this movie.
After that, we go back to Steppenwolf, and he's capturing some Atlanteans.
Yeah, on the beach.
He got the parademons. They were dragging them up out of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to resist. And the one Atlantean, he's like, I'm never going to betray my people. There's no way I'm going to tell you anything. And this is when Steppenwolf, he bust out this, like, creepy robot spider thing.
Ugh.
And he put it on him. And it crawled up on his face. And when it crawled up on his face, it, like, projected his mind.
Yeah.
It went and looked for the memory it needed, and it projected it. And it told Steppenwolf exactly where their mother box was.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't like the spider. I hate spiders.
I know. You were like, ah!
Oh, it freaked me out.
Yeah.
I have arachnophobia so
anytime there's any type of spider type of anything on a movie or show, you ain't having it.
I have arachnophobia really bad. Really bad.
We get it. After that, we get a quick shot of Lois kind of hugging Clark's cape as he was sniffing his cape and stuff.
Yeah.
That was about it. It was just Lois sniffing a cape.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Good job there, Lois.
Lois sniffing a cape.
And Lois sniffing a cape.
And then Bruce and Diana.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Diana.
Yeah.
You were like, Diana.
They were talking about Arthur, Barry, and Victor and trying to figure out, who to go after, who would be better to persuade who, and ultimately decide that Bruce is going to go after Barry and Diana's going to go after Victor.
Yeah. After that, that's when we go back to Victor.
Yes, and it's like a flashback.
Yeah, and this is the flashback to the college years, and the dean is talking to his mother, about helping with grades.
The dean was upset because I guess Victor had helped one of his classmates with schoolwork.
Yeah.
Basically helped her cheat.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't for no reason. This girl had just recently lost a family member. And the mother's speaking on Victor's behalf. She's like, he helped him because he has a heart. What have you done to help this poor girl?
Yeah.
You're the teacher. You're the dean of this school. You're the one that's supposed to be helping these kids.
Yeah.
Not trying to find a reason to castrate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And after that, that's when we get, like we were talking about before, with the football scene and the car crash with his mom.
Yeah, the crash and his being rebuilt.
Yep. And then we go back to the present with Cyborg and, Victor and his dad. Mm-hmm. And that's when he leaves him the tape.
Okay, this is when he leaves him the tape.
Yeah, that's when he leaves him the tape. Cyborg starts to listen to the tape.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden he just smashes it. He doesn't even listen to the entire thing.
Well, he smashes it at the end. He starts listening to it.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the beginning of it, Silas is talking about his abilities.
Yeah.
And what Cyborg can do. He's telling him that how powerful you really are. He's like, finance, the world's satellites, the nuclear weapons can all be, operated by a thought.
Yeah.
With a mere thought for you.
But as soon as he said, basically, like, now I'm going to speak to you as your father.
Yeah, now as a father.
He
goes, I've been speaking to you as a scientist. Now I'm going to speak to you as a father.
That's when he smashed it. Yes. And I was like, oh, why'd you do that? But then later on, we see.
He's got magic powers.
Yeah, basically.
He's a magic robot cyborg.
Yeah. So then after he hears that tape of, his dad telling him the scientist telling him everything that he can do. We see basically like a little montage of him, going around town. He learns how to fly.
Yes.
He's going past an ATM and he sees this lady. She's at an ATM and she is trying to get money out, and the balance is there was like nothing in her bank account, and he actually like does something with his mind, and it says like, oh, congratulations, you're a lucky winner, and you got like $1 million deposited into your account.
It was $100,000
or 100,000.
Yeah,
and I was like,
they show.
Oh man, what can happen to me?
They show Victor when he's in like the internet world.
Yeah.
He sees himself as like a real person.
Yeah.
And he was just like kind of whoop, and he made that big stack of cash.
Yeah.
And he gave it to the lady.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, why can't that happen to me? I wish I can go to the ATM and ta-da, $100,000 in your account.
After that,
Would be awesome.
we get a quick visit with Barry and his father in prison.
Yeah.
And they took out that stupid scene. Do you remember in the other cut, there was a part where Barry was in the waiting room at the prison, and there was another guy that was giving him a hard time, being kind of a dick to him. So Flash did a real quick thing with a marker and drew on his face. And then the guy had like glasses on his face. It was really stupid.
I was about to say, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that was in the original
one.
They completely cut that out of this one, thank God.
Well, that's good. That's good, yeah.
Because it was terrible.
I was about to say, it sounds dumb. I don't remember it.
This is basically like a Flashpoint setup for the Flash solo movie.
Yeah.
With Barry's dad being in prison and them talking about him being in prison for being falsely accused for his mother's murder.
Yeah.
That is setting up the Flashpoint paradox where Barry goes back in time and tries to save his mother.
Okay.
And then we ultimately find out that I think that the Reverse Flash is involved in one way or another. And when he comes back to this timeline, everything's backwards. Bruce Wayne's not Batman. His father, Thomas Wayne, is Batman, and he uses guns.
Yeah.
And Barry doesn't have no powers. Wonder Woman and Aquaman are at war with each other. The Atlanteans and the Amazonians are at war with each other. So that's what this whole little scene is, just basically setting up that storyline.
Okay.
But then right after that, Barry goes home to his warehouse hideout.
Yeah. And when he goes home, that's Bruce Wayne is actually already there. And he's trying to basically recruit Barry to, join up. And Barry, Bruce is like basically telling him like, hey, I know who you are, and Barry's denying it. And he's like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, So, that's when Bruce uses the. I had a brain fart for a second.
I like the part right here when Barry kicks all the power on.
Yeah.
And you see Bruce sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, Barry. I'm Bruce Wayne." And he goes, "You say that like that explains why there's a complete stranger in my second favorite chair." Right?
Well, no, I was gonna say like they're like Bruce and Barry are going back and forth, and then that's when Barry's like, look, you got the wrong guy. And then that's when Bruce uses his... the
Batarang.
Yeah, the Batarang.
He chucks the Batarang at him.
Of course, another Zack Snyder slow motion.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes slow motion, and we see Barry.
You know what I want to see?
He just kind of just goes like, just takes it real slow.
You know what I want to see? Do you remember those corridor videos I showed you on YouTube where they take certain movies and they make them rated R?
Yeah.
And they did it with Civil War. They made Civil War rated R. Remember that?
Yeah.
I want to see them do something with this where, let's say Batman showed up at the wrong person's house and this wasn't Barry. And he chucked that Batarang at him. And if he didn't have super speed, the thing probably would have stuck right in his forehead and he would have killed him. Right?
Yeah, Yeah, pretty
I have a
much.
sixth sense of humor. I know.
Well, basically, after he throws that and Barry catches it, Barry's like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, he's like, yep. And then
There was a quick
he's
drop.
like, I need friends.
There was a quick drop to Gorilla Grodd. I mean, I'm gonna say that it is. Everyone else says it is. When Bruce and Barry were talking,
Okay.
one of the things Barry mentioned, like he was saying, I do competitive ice skating and all this weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned something about being fluent in sign language, and then he goes, "Well, gorilla sign language." Remember Gorilla Grodd?
Mm.
That's one of the Flash's big time villains, Gorilla Grodd.
I remember.
I'd like
him
to.
when we used to watch the show on CW.
The CW show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember him from that.
They used him in there a couple times. I'd like to see a live action Gorilla Grodd,
That would be cool.
like the live action Kang Shark we're about to get in the new Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that tomorrow, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pushing forward, we get to Diana with Alfred. And
Yeah.
this was a funny scene
Yeah.
when Diana tries to make tea, right? And Alfred, he's already tinkering on stuff, and it's funny because when right off the get, Diana goes to make some tea.
Yeah.
Alfred is so used to doing everything.
Oh, yeah.
He drops everything he does.
That's
he
his
was
job.
doing and goes over to help, and she's like, "No, I'll do it."
Yep.
And it was clearly not the way that he would do it.
Oh, and you could see it was like OCD. He was like itching to do it.
Right, not like that.
Yeah.
All right, no. You want to put the water in first. You'll scald it.
Yeah, like,
And then
because that's his job.
And then she goes,
He's always
"Are you
done that.
Are you sure you don't want any?" He goes, "No, I'm sure."
Yeah.
And then moments later, when she walks away, you can see him in the background making tea. Right?
Absolutely.
And then Diana tries to look up Victor on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and at this point, she types his name in. And like as soon as he hits search, instantly Victor knows about it and does like a back trace on her,
Mm-hmm.
and is like, what are you doing? Why are you looking for me?
Mm-hmm.
And then gives her an address on where to meet.
That's right. And
Mhm.
then she goes and she meets up with him.
She pulls in. When she's walking in, all the lights go down.
Yeah. And he basically wants to know, why she's looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
And she's telling him, the world needs you. He basically says, fuck the world.
Yeah.
So then she talks
He's
about
very
losing-
angry at
Yes.
this point.
Yeah, he's not happy with
His
life.
whole life had been changed.
Yeah.
He was like this all-star Heisman Trophy winning football man of the year.
So then she talks
Now
to
he
him.
he only has like half his face. That's the only part of his real self he has. The rest
Yeah.
is cybernetic fucking parts.
Well, she tells
Poor guy.
him, about losing the love of her life, Steve.
Yes.
And she basically, tries to, like, get on his level. Like, hey, I understand,
Right.
about, like, how you're
Trying to
feeling.
relate.
Yeah, thank you. I had
Yes.
a mind fart there for a second. Yeah, trying to relate and everything. So he,
Ultimately, he denies.
yeah,
He's like, "I'm not helping." He's pulling the Aquaman.
yeah,
I don't want nothing to do with you guys.
yep.
Peace.
Flies away.
Peace. I'm out of
Keeps
here, and he
going.
flies off, and then he turns the lights back on his way out.
Yeah.
Right?
But then we see that he actually goes to his mother's grave.
Yes.
And he buries the mother box that was in the closet in his apartment. He buries the mother box in his mother's grave.
Yes.
And then it goes back to his dad at Star Labs.
Yeah, it was real quick. He was
Yeah.
with the Asian guy.
Yeah.
I did not write his name down either, but he
Oh,
becomes the Atom
Yeah.
in the comics.
Yeah.
I
I forget his name, too.
they're messing around with this laser, and they're shooting this laser at a piece of the Kryptonian ship,
Mm-hmm.
and they notice that it becomes hot.
Yeah.
It like superheats the item, and this is something. It's a real quick scene. It's a throwaway scene that comes into play way later in the movie. Whenever Silas, spoiler alert, when Silas goes in and locks himself into the booth with the mother box,
Yeah.
and he turns the laser on.
Yep.
He's doing it to superheat the mother box.
Yeah.
And unfortunately takes himself out while he does it.
Yeah, but then that way the mother box is heated to the point that it could be
tracked.
recognized on any thermal
Thermal imaging from the satellites.
Thank you. Thermal imaging. That's what I was trying to say.
Right after that, we see Silas. He goes home and he sees the crushed tape recorder.
Yeah.
That from Victor, he crushed the tape. He's gone by now, but then he gets captured by a parademon.
Yep. And after that, it's
Gotham PD.
Yeah, we go to Gotham PD and Commissioner Gordon.
I love J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah,
in
I know.
everything he does.
I know, he's so cool.
He's a phenomenal actor.
He is.
I love him as Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he plays a very good commissioner.
Although I love Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
His take on Commissioner Gordon was phenomenal.
I was going to say,
But this Commissioner Gordon, I would liked to see him a little more than what he got.
Gary Oldman is still number one for me for Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Great.
J.K. Simmons.
Is it Simmons?
Yeah. Why am I saying Rowling? J.K. Rowling's a fucking
Harry
writer.
Potter. Oh, my God.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Wow. People are going to fucking chew our asses out for
It's okay.
that one.
Chew us out in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe.
Gary Oldman.
To get all kinds of dumb shit like this every week.
Gary Oldman
Yes.
is my favorite Commissioner Gordon.
Yes, he's very good.
Yeah. He looks at sketches that look like Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be sketches of the parademons.
Yes.
But the sketch artists, the way they came out, they obviously
look like Batman.
Yes, the fingers are being pointed towards Batman. Then we see Silas getting dropped off with the other prisoners from Star Labs.
Yep.
And we see that the parademons have been grabbing up everybody that's been working at Star Labs because they've all been near the mother box, hence they have the scent on them.
And then we see Bruce, Barry, and Diana at the airport.
Yes. And then Barry gets a boner over the bat signal.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
He was like, "That's your signal."
Oh, yeah.
That means we gotta go now. He's such a nerd.
Atlantis.
Yes.
They talk to each other like dolphins.
Yeah, it was real quick that we see Mira at the temple.
Okay. Let me just point this out. Number one, hate Aquaman. We already know that. Number two, Mira. Sorry, Amber Heard. You suck at your accent for English accents. Find another role to play, please, okay?
I don't think she's going to be getting many roles at all.
No.
All right.
After the whole Johnny Depp thing.
Yes.
And good for her that she doesn't get any more roles because you got caught, bitch, lying. So anyways, I'm sorry. Her accent was fucking horrible. Let the bastard come.
Yeah.
Let the bastard come. Like, I'm sorry. She just sucks.
I know.
Oh, my God. She is so cringeworthy. God, cringe to the max. You go.
I was just waiting for you to finish up.
I had to rant about her.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Can't stand her.
So, Atlantis, and they talk like dolphins.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of terrible as well.
Yeah.
The way they talk to each other like dolphins and stuff.
Yeah.
This is when Steppenwolf attacks Atlantis.
Good.
Awesome scene. This is another awesome scene.
Yep. I'm glad he attacked Atlantis.
Okay. The one Atlantean, he swims over to the edge of this, however this temple was laid out, and Steppenwolf comes swimming up.
Yeah.
As he comes up, you could see his armor kind of form down, which was badass.
Yeah, it was.
Then I don't care what you think about Amber Heard. Mira, as a character, is fucking phenomenal in this scene. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Mhm.
This was super badass. She starts doing her hydrokinesis powers.
Mhm.
And Steppenwolf is swimming. He is fucking slaughtering. I know, I got to start working on the words. But Steppenwolf is slaughtering the Atlanteans. He's chopping them in half, and you can see the blood just kind of dissipating in through the water.
Yep.
And then he takes out a few Atlanteans, and he starts going after the mother box, and he's getting close. And just as he's about to grab the mother box, Mira does a hydrokinesis, like orb, and opens everything up, and it just pulls all the water away from where he was swimming, and all of a sudden he's falling.
Yeah.
And he falls probably 100 feet and smashes through this bridge. Then she brings the water back in on him again. And it's like a tidal wave that comes in and just swooshes him around. He don't even know which direction he's going.
Yeah.
Right? Then she goes to do it again, and Steppenwolf charges her. And he grabs her and he slams her up against the wall. And you see her, she's struggling, and she makes another orb, and she pulls all the water away, and Steppenwolf starts saying something snarky to her. And he goes, you thought you were going to get away or something like that. And she's like, I wasn't trying to get away. And then she fucking starts sucking all the moisture out of his body.
Yeah, that's one power she has, yeah.
And, like, you've seen the water coming out of his face, and then that water's went from pink to red.
Yeah.
Just from everything coming out. And
because she has that power to bring every type of moisture.
She can control any type of liquid. Water.
Yeah.
Water, I should say. Not liquid, water.
Yeah.
But pretty much all liquid has water in it.
Yeah.
Bodies are 80% water.
I was about to say
She'd
humans,
suck
yeah.
you dry like that, and you'd just be like a shriveled corpse. You'd look like one of them witches in WandaVision. Right?
Yeah. I'll tell you
so,
what.
boom, Mira, awesome. Sorry, Amber, you're probably not going to be in much anymore, but you nailed it here. I liked it.
That scene was cool.
It was awesome.
It was very awesome. But your accent sucks. Sorry.
Steppenwolf does end up getting the upper hand. Takes out Mira. Shakes it off. And he's getting ready to finish her off. And that's when Arthur shows up at the last minute and grabs his axe. They have a little bit of a battle there. And once again, Steppenwolf, he overcomes.
And he grabs the mother box.
One cool part, though, is when another cool part when Arthur was swimming towards him and Steppenwolf threw his axe at him. And, like, the lightning axe is going, like, twirling through the water, and he dodges it.
Yeah.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah. But
in slow motion, of course.
Of course. And he got mother box number 2.
Yes. And he rolls out.
Yep.
Then Mira and Arthur kind of have a little conversation about Arthur's mother, Queen Atlanta. Atlanta and you
Arthur's
know
birthright.
his birthright and all that horse shit, and you know,
of course, him being a prick like he always is, you know.
I ain't having it.
No, give me my whiskey.
Well, he didn't have no whiskey there.
Well, he wishes.
He's like, I'm out of here, and he rolls out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Back to Cyborg.
Yeah, after that, Cyborg.
Don't worry, we're gonna take a break at the end of this part.
Okay.
All right.
Cyborg, he discovers that his father was taken. And then he could see the bat symbol.
Yes.
Correct.
He looked out the window.
Yes.
He went back to his apartment and seen that it was ravished. There's stuff thrown all over the place.
Yep.
And he like you said, he could see the bat symbol.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
It was a quick scene.
Yeah.
We go back to Steppenwolf. He returns to the mother box to his stronghold, and he sticks the second box in there.
And we can see it gets bigger.
Yes, everything starts growing, and this is when the dome grows over top of everything.
Yeah. And that's when he speaks to Desaad.
Desaad again.
Yep. And pretty much have the same conversation
Yes.
as before.
Every time Steppenwolf talks to the Zod, it's this world will fall, just like the others.
I was just about to say, before we go on break, I noticed a lot of people were saying that the conversation with the Zod, every conversation is basically the same.
Yeah.
And even with Darkhold, they said with Steppenwolf and Darkhold too.
Darkseid.
Or Darkseid, not
Darkhold's the book.
Sorry.
In
people.
Marvel.
Sorry. I'm still on WandaVision. Anyways, Darkseid. No, they say a lot of people are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Even those two having the conversation, like it's basically the same conversation. You know, it doesn't really change.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that fans were kind of bitching about. Like,
yeah, because every
not
time
really bitching, but
this world will fall.
Yeah.
Just like all the others. He said that at least 5 times throughout the movie.
And then, when Steppenwolf, goes to Darkseid, right? Okay. Just making sure. Like, even, shut up. Even when him and Darkseid, or Steppenwolf and Darkseid, same thing. Same thing.
Yep.
My master,
Yes.
I will,
This world will fall, just like all the others.
It's just nonstop. It's nonstop.
All right. Well, we still have part 4, 5, 6, and an epilogue.
Yes.
But before we get to that, we're going to take a quick break. We have an interlude we put together on Martian Manhunter.
Yes.
And
hope you enjoy it.
Hope you enjoy. We'll be right back.
Martian Manhunter, also known by his real name, John Jones, is from the planet Mars, which was ravaged in a civil war there. Now he fights to protect his new home planet, Earth. Martian Manhunter was a founding member of the Justice League of America and is said by many to be the heart and soul of the League. He is also one of the last of his kind. Martian Manhunter has some pretty cool powers such as telepathy, flight, invisibility, phasing, super strength, Martian vision, and the big one, shapeshifting. He only has one weakness though, and that is a fear of fire, which apparently all Martians have. All of these powers that he has makes him one of the most powerful beings on Earth. Aside from being a Martian and all-powerful, Martian Manhunter is very, very brilliant. He has the voice of wisdom and has a very gentle soul. Because of these traits, he is a beloved member of the League. To find out more about this character and many, many more, be sure to check out DCComics.com.
Hey.
And we're back.
We are back.
Hope you enjoyed the little interlude of Martian Manhunter.
The Martian Manhunter, John Jones.
John Jones.
So where were we? Part 4, The Change Machine.
Yes.
This starts off with our heroes meeting up with Commissioner Gordon on the rooftop of Gotham PD.
Mm-hmm.
They all previously we had seen all the characters recognizing the bat signal. Remember, Barry got the boner and Cyborg seen it out the window, and now they're all on the rooftop.
Yes, Barry and the boner.
Barry and his boner, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They are on the rooftop first.
Okay.
They're yada about, the prisoners being taken and, everyone thinking it's Batman from the sketches.
Yeah.
And then Victor shows up and he's like, my dad was caught too, right? Mm-hmm. And then, after he shows up, then they all figure out, after Gordon, he tells Victor, all the different places, and he instantly triangulates where all these the central location to all these prisoners being taken were from. So then they figured out it was down in this sewer area, underneath Gotham Harbor. Yeah. And so they decide to go after him after that, and then they all kind of disappear. Right?
Except for Flash.
Except for the Flash. Mm-hmm. That part was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's Commissioner Gordon, he does the thing, and they do it in every movie where he turns around, and then when he comes back around, all the heroes are gone, except for Barry.
Yep.
He's like, wow, that's rude.
Mm-hmm.
And then he bolts, too. It was pretty funny.
So they go after the prisoners.
Yes.
They sneak in. Cyborg actually blows their cover to save his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then when
Yeah.
they sneak in, right? They're being all stealthy and stuff, going in there to find this guy.
Yeah.
And they find where the prisoners are being held, and Cyborg's watching down.
Yeah.
And Steppenwolf's going through them one by one, and he's using his creepy spider holograph machine. And Silas kind of stepped up to help one of the other prisoners that, was being interrogated. So then Steppenwolf turned his sights onto him,
Yeah.
Silas. And when Steppenwolf grabbed him up, Cyborg was like, no, fuck yes. And he, shot down real quick and crushed the spider thing with a third arm. He had a third arm that came out of his back.
Cyborg's pretty awesome.
And he crushed it.
Cyborg got some pretty cool shit.
He can, do anything pretty much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He can grow extra limbs.
He can fly.
Little
he
jets.
Can hack shit.
Yeah, little jets all over him.
I know. Diana actually goes after Steppenwolf,
Yes.
and then he actually starts taunting her.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
About how he had kicked the shit out of all the other Amazonian girls.
And, taunting her about her mother and all that shit.
Right.
And it pisses her off.
She ain't having none of that. And Steppenwolf was like, he told all the parademons to stand down.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, this one's mine.
Yep.
He goes, I don't belong to anybody. With the Wonder Woman music. Or the Amazonian music.
It was the Amazonian, yeah.
So they go to battle, and Cyborg and Barry, the Flash, they're working on getting these prisoners out of there.
Yeah.
At this time. And, I don't know, Barry was just kind of zipping back and forth up and down the stairs, saying, come on, this way.
Yeah.
It was kind of cheesy, I thought, that part.
Yeah, a little bit.
But right afterwards, when he does get the prisoners outside, this part was pretty cool when the rubble from the building came down, and Barry, he, jumped into his speed force and started running back and forth, and he caught almost everything.
Yeah.
Except for at the very end, and then Cyborg, he got that. He shot it.
Yeah. Because you always have to have that one piece
Yes.
that gets through. And then the hero's like, oh no. And then another hero comes in and it's like, no worries. I got this.
I got it. I got you, bro.
I got it.
I'm surprised he didn't go booyah.
Booyah.
Eventually, after they get all the prisoners out of there, they all end up back downstairs fighting Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And they get Steppenwolf cornered down at the bottom of these tunnels, and Diana's kicking the shit out of them. Right?
Yeah.
And this is when Cyborg, he jumps into Batman's Nightcrawler, four-legged tank thing that he had in there, takes it over and starts firing at Steppenwolf, and he fires a couple missiles at him. And one of the missiles he catches. And, Steppenwolf grabs it, and then he points it at the wall, and it blows a hole in the wall, and then he boom tubes right out of there.
The boom tube.
He boom tubes right out of there, and then they find out, they go, oh, where were we at again? Gotham Harbor, and the water starts rushing in.
Yeah.
Cue Aquaman.
Here he comes.
Now we got water. So Aquaman shows up and does some kind of super trident wall water stopper power, and he stops the water for a couple seconds so they can load up on the tank and get out of there.
The Nightcrawler.
Yep.
And they get out of there. Cyborg takes off. And then Steppenwolf's at a stronghold and has a vision of the anti-life equation.
Yeah. That was right. Yeah, right after the heroes get out of there. Cyborg, he takes off. And he disappears. He just kind of left the rest of them hanging there.
Yeah.
And then we go back to, we see Steppenwolf inside that power plant.
Yeah.
And he was summoned by that molten wall he has. And he's like, all right, show me. And he goes over and then touches the wall, and then he has a vision. And it's kind of almost, they used the same, wire work, I guess. The computer They just changed the skins on what the motion capture. That's what I was looking for, motion capture. That they used the same motion capture as what they had from Darkseid before. The way he smashed his hammer on the ground, the movements were exactly the same. They just changed the skin.
Okay.
But Steppenwolf slams his axe down, and he sees that big anti-life equation, and now he's like, I have the key to going back home now.
Okay, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So he
Yep.
goes back, and he requests to speak with the Sod because he wants to tell him about this vision that he has. And the Sod's like, you actually found the anti-life equation? And he starts kind of like mumbling in prayer.
Yeah.
And disappears, and this is when Darkseid shows up for the first time. And he forms out in the molten wall, whatever the hell you want to call that thing. The molten wall communication device. The molten cell phone.
I was just about to say, you name it, because I have no idea what the hell to call it.
But Darkseid, he shows up, and he's like, he basically tells Steppenwolf, you take over this world, get the rest of the mother boxes, finish the Unity, and I will show up myself to collect my prize. And Steppenwolf, he kneels, he sheds his armor in front of him, like as a complete sign of submission. He bares his skin to Darkseid, and he's like, I will do whatever I need to do, and this world will fall just like all the others.
Oh, God, again,
Yes.
again, and again. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, after that, we're back with the heroes.
Yes.
And they're basically strategizing. They need to know what to do with the mutter.
The mother box.
The mother boxes.
Yes.
Yes. They're figuring out what to do with these. And Victor tells them a story about the history of the human mother box.
Okay.
That the Nazis had found it, and that's how it made its way to Star Labs.
Yes.
And Silas actually used the mother box to make Cyborg.
Yeah,
Victor into Cyborg.
Right. He snatched.
Yes.
He used it to the energy from the mother box to create him.
Yeah, and then basically he was saying that the mother boxes are change machines.
Right.
That
he
they can
was
change.
explaining, that they can take, smoke and turn it back into, like say you take a piece of paper and you light it on fire and then it turns into smoke.
Yeah.
You could turn that smoke back into paper.
Yep.
So out of that, they kind of get the idea of bringing back Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're like, okay, well, if it's actually, the change machine, and if it can go from this to this, why can't we possibly bring somebody back from the dead?
Right.
So
after this is when we get that quick scene we talked about earlier
with Martha Kent.
With Martha Kent and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And Martha trying to encourage Lois to get back out into the world. And then we find out that it was Martian Manhunter all along.
Yeah, because, Lois starts, feeling better. And it was a sweet moment. Martha walks out, shuts the door behind her, and she's standing in the hallway, and all of a sudden she transforms into Martian Manhunter. And I never, like a lot of other people, I just never understood why it had to be Martian Manhunter.
It was the easiest way, I guess, for them to throw him in there.
And just like
they
I
gave
said
him a
in the
second
beginning,
there, and they gave him 60 seconds at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and like me and everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of other people think he didn't need to be in this movie.
Right.
Period. He's cool, don't get me wrong, but he didn't need to be in the movie.
Yeah.
So then after this, this is when the heroes decide, all right, we're going to bring Superman
They make
back.
their final decision. Yeah.
We're bringing Superman back. We can't defeat Steppenwolf. We can't defeat this evil without
him.
Superman.
They need him.
Absolutely. And then it goes on to part
Hell
5.
yeah! If I knew I could bring him back,
hell yeah, I'm bringing him back.
you know what I mean?
I'm bringing him
and then
back.
basically take myself out of the fight because he can handle it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we're on to part 5.
All the Kang's horses.
Yes. And this starts off with the heroes at the cemetery.
Digging up Superman.
Yes. And basically, Barry and Victor are together, and they're at the grave digging up Superman. It was cute because Barry actually tells Victor that, so what do you think about, Wonder Woman?
I
What
know,
do you
right?
think about Diana?
He's checking her out.
Yeah, he's like basically saying she's hot, And Victor's like, yeah, you ain't got a chance in hell, dude.
What was I saying earlier? Barry's boner.
Barry's boner. Yep.
Fucking Barry.
And then Arthur and Diane are actually back at the car and they're drinking.
Yeah.
And,
kind of talking about their people's history.
Yeah, just having a conversation about that. And while that's going on, it goes back to Bruce and Alfred. They're at the Batcave.
Yes.
And they're like working on different shit. And Alfred basically tells Bruce that, he did it. He brought the team together to fight this war, and he did it.
He doesn't. Alfred doesn't want Bruce to battle anymore.
Yeah.
He knows he's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Batman that's been doing this for, 30-some years in Gotham.
Yeah.
He's had history.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little taste of, in Batman vs. Superman, we seen the broken suit of Robin.
Yeah.
We know that in this universe, the Joker killed Robin.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to get more of that. This is a war-torn Bruce Wayne Batman. And Alfred knows this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want him to be fighting anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Absolutely. So after this,
yeah, we eventually we get back to the ship. Some other stuff happens. We get back to the ship.
Yeah, they have Superman's body at this point.
Yes, they have Superman.
Yeah.
Aquaman takes his body and down into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was listening to something, and they mentioned something that made some sense to me.
Mm.
They dig up Superman's body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all careful, and they take their time getting the casket in there and everything. And then at the very end, they let the picture fall in the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think they would have, okay, set that to the side. He might want to hold on to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to survive this, this jolt of energy we're going to put into this water.
Yeah, it's going to fry into smithereens,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it might do something with the exposure or something.
Yeah. Even if falling in the water. I mean, when a picture falls into water, it's pretty much ruined.
Yes. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. It doesn't make any sense.
Cyborg, he hacks the mainframe, and he gets into the Kryptonian ship and to basically take control and start this operation. He tells the group that he can make everything go down, but he needs the power.
Yeah.
Like he needs the electricity. And that's when Barry steps in, and he's like, I think I could probably manage that much of a charge.
Yeah.
He says that if he gets up fast enough,
to approach the speed of light.
The speed of light, yeah.
Yes.
And then he said something about how things start happening with time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, things starts getting a little freaky with time.
Yeah.
Is he? I think he was kind of hinting that like he knows that he can time travel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because later on when we see that it actually happened, he didn't hesitate. He knew he could do what he was about to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, he explains about the Speed Force a little bit to the guys, and Cyborg takes over. Barry gets lined up, ready to go, and he takes off running, and he's getting close, and when he's getting ready to touch the box, it starts, like, the box sinks, and then you can see it going backwards through time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, real quick before that, before Victor was
He gets the memory.
Yeah, he gets that vision, and he sees Diana being burned, like she's at her funeral. Aquaman's being killed, as well as Superman. Not as well as Superman.
Superman was killing them all.
Yeah, well,
and Darkseid. They showed the clips of Darkseid killing some of them too. Correct?
Yeah, but that one part where Superman was holding Lois, and she actually looked like melted.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
she looked like
freaky.
her body was all burned up.
It was freaky looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was really creepy.
that was actually in the Bat Cave.
Was that in the back?
That was supposed to be in the Bat Cave.
Okay.
This is probably good a place as any to just kind of explain a little bit about the extended universe of what we could have got and what these scenes meant.
Okay.
Ultimately, if Zack Snyder got to make the rest of his movies, there was going to be set up to where Darkseid was on Earth getting ready to take over. Lois was put into Bruce Wayne's care. Superman's like, you stay here, you watch over, I'm going to go take care of Darkseid. While Superman's gone, something happens, and Lois gets killed. Okay. Something happened. I think Darkseid shows up and actually kills Lois.
Okay.
Okay. And when Superman comes back, he blames Bruce. Like, you were supposed to protect her. I put you in charge to protect her.
Yeah. He blames
What
him.
the fuck happened? And that's him holding her body there.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Okay, yeah.
Evidently, he gets out of there. Bruce gets away. So, yeah, that's what that's all about.
Okay. Well, back to, okay, back to the cube, it comes
Resurrection.
back.
Yes.
Resurrection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Superman comes back alive.
Yes. Lois, there's like a group of people outside. And
Well, he blasts up through the roof of the ship.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of doing the superhero hover.
Yeah, he's hovering.
Lois sees him.
Yeah. She sees him, and they were just like, what the fuck,
Yeah, right?
It's crazy. So then, that he goes to where his statue was.
Yes.
And he's looking at the symbol on the ground and, kind of like confused.
Right.
And then the rest of the heroes show up, and Wonder Woman, is looking and smiling at him and saying, he's back,
Yeah.
So then Superman looks at them very confused, like, who the hell are you guys? Like, Superman has no idea.
No clue who anybody is.
I don't think he even knows who he is.
No.
And Victor, that's when he mentions something's wrong,
He's scanning us.
Yeah, he's scanning us.
Right.
And then we see Superman scanning their bodies, and you can see, like, the skeletons and shit.
And
then
Cyborg's body.
his auto defense system.
Yeah. His body picks up on it before he does.
Yes.
And goes into, like, auto attack.
Yeah, he says, because he points his arm at Superman, and he's saying, it's my auto defense system because it senses danger.
Right.
And then it fires at Superman, but Superman kind of just, like, turns to the side, right past him.
Yeah, like nothing.
And then Superman's
Game
pissed,
on.
and he starts kicking everybody's ass.
Yes. This was a pretty awesome scene,
Oh,
too.
my God, it was. I mean, he was just destroying everybody. I thought one of the coolest scenes was when, he's kicking everybody's ass. He has Aquaman and Diana, or Arthur and Diana.
Yeah, he's holding both of them.
And
then
Barry.
and Cyborg. He had all three of them.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you only had two of them.
Yep.
But anyways, Barry, he starts running real fast.
Yeah.
And he actually, like, of course, it's in slow-mo. And you see Barry looking at Superman. And Superman, you actually see his eyes looking at Barry. Like, he sees him. Nobody else can see Flash because he's so fucking fast. But Superman did.
Yeah.
And when Barry
you can
saw
see
that,
his eyes were just like,
yeah,
I
following
see you,
him.
fucker.
Yeah. And Barry had that look like, oh my God, he sees me.
Yep.
How the fuck is he looking at me?
His
right
whole
now?
plan changed in that moment.
Yep.
Like, hold on. You ever see them memes where it's like somebody's he's like a skateboarder, right? Skateboarder's riding, and he jumps up, and like he's getting ready to wreck, and it pauses.
Yeah.
And it goes, and in this moment, he knows he fucked up.
He knew
That
he fucked up.
That was Barry's moment.
Oh yeah.
Pause that right there when Barry sees him looking at him.
Yep.
In this moment,
Yeah.
Barry knew.
Yeah, that was so fucking funny. And then he was getting ready to like laser him with his eyes.
Yeah.
And then somebody shot at him, and here it was all like these military vehicles came up. He turns around and he starts fucking
He went Homelander, right?
start fucking lasering them all the vehicles.
I didn't think he was gonna go full Homelander.
I didn't,
but he
realize it.
lasered the Humvees. Yes.
Yeah, and then that's when Batman showed up.
Right.
And when he saw Batman, he was pissed.
He went into kill mode. Well,
yeah.
The last his mind remembers.
Yeah.
You know, in this confused state is that's the guy that tried to kill me in the last movie.
Yepers.
You know?
Yep.
When I was still alive, this guy was trying to kill me. And there was like, maybe 15 minutes before he got killed that they were cool.
Yeah.
Because their moms both were named Martha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So then he lasered Batman.
Yeah.
And he was actually getting ready.
And he had his gauntlets that Alfred made for him.
Yes. Yeah, so he was able to block it. And he was actually getting ready to kill Batman.
He fried the one gauntlet.
Yep.
And then he was on his last gauntlet.
And he was
zapping him with the fried gauntlet, and then
Lois showed up.
Yep.
And when he saw Lois, that's when he calmed down. They hugged, and then they both flew away. He was hugging her, holding her, and flew up and away. And all the heroes there really gathering themselves like, oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Clark had a boner. Too many boners in this movie.
Yeah. Well, after they fly away, that's when Steppenwolf, what's it called? The boom tube?
Boom tube,
yeah.
Steppenwolf shows up to get the third mother box.
Yep.
And back at the ship, in the Kryptonian ship, because when they brought back Superman, the mother box had shot out and landed out in the parking lot.
On the cop car.
Silas had snagged that up and took it back into the lab. And when he took it back into the lab, he was trying to, like, stash it away. And Steppenwolf, he sniffed that thing right out, tracked it down to where he was, and that's when Silas, he locked himself into it was like the containment area for their testing.
Yeah.
And when he locked himself into that area, he turned the laser on. That was the laser we talked about earlier that superheated items.
Yeah.
But with him being inside that containment with the laser, not only did it superheat that box, it killed him.
Yeah. He just fucking evaporated.
Evaporated into nothing.
Yeah. It was,
It reminded me a little bit of
crazy.
The Watchmen. Remember when, what's-his-face turned into Dr. Manhattan? And he, like, shattered into a bunch of pieces? That's what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah.
Same director.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Barry's father's the same dude that played Dr. Manhattan.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
And he was in what was that Apple show that we watched?
The morning show.
That wasn't bad.
That was a good show. I like that.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, once the mother box once
Silas
was killed.
Silas fried himself inside that containment.
Cyborg actually
watched the whole thing happen.
Oh, I know. I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
He actually realized that his dad wasn't trying to destroy the box.
Right.
That he was
heating it up that way that they could trace it.
Yeah. And then Batman was saying, so we could see it on a thermal image. And then Barry's like, he looks at him, he's like, you have a satellite?
Yeah.
And Batman's like, no, I have 6.
I have 6. But you know what else is funny about that is he used to have 7.
Really?
Okay. But I think it was Man of Steel. In Man of Steel,
okay,
there's a part where a satellite gets destroyed when he's fighting Zod, and they end up out in space at one point. They destroy a satellite. It was a Wayne Enterprises satellite. So he had 7 satellites, and now he's down to 6.
How about that?
Little deep cut.
Little tidbit for you.
Little tidbit.
So now we're on to the last part.
Yeah, hold it.
Part 6.
I haven't even been reading this recently, so I lost where the hell we're at.
We're on part 6.
Part 6.
Something darker.
Black.
Part 6 opens up with Clark and Lois at the farm.
Yeah.
And
back on the farm that they're actually trespassing.
Yeah, because it's foreclosed.
Because it's foreclosed on.
The bank owns it now.
The bank owns the
the
farm, but
Clark remembers.
He's starting to remember.
Yeah, he's looking around and he remembers and he says, this is home.
And that stupid mustache face is gone.
Yeah, yes, thank God.
And the Whedon cut in this portion here, it was another one of them fucking butchered scenes that they tried to replace the mustache because they did the reshoots and he was under contract for the Mission Impossible movie. So he wasn't allowed, Henry Cavill, he wasn't allowed to shave his mustache. Yeah. So they had to digitally remove, and they spent like $100 million or some shit on that movie.
Yeah, it was so fucking
ridiculous.
Stupid.
And then you see some of the deep fake stuff that Disney's doing over there, you know?
I know.
Anyways.
Hoozle. Yeah. Basically, Clark remembers that he and his mom, loved it there. Lois explains, that
Mama
Martha
shows up.
Yeah, that Martha got behind on the payments. Well, she doesn't show up in this scene. It goes back to the team at the Batcave. Alfred meets everyone, and they're there making the plan, what to do, because they find the mother box on Bruce's thermal imaging computer. Then it goes back to Clark at the farm. That's when Mama shows up.
Okay.
He hugs, him and Lois, and he says, they brought me back for a reason, and I need to find out why.
Okay. Right.
So then that's when, he takes off. So then it goes back to the team at the Batcave, and that's when Bruce tells Diana about his dream. And, basically saying
I had a dream, like a premonition.
Yeah, and that's when he was saying Barry told me that, Lois Lane was the key.
Right.
And
that was from Batman vs. Superman when Batman had the nightmare dream.
Yes.
Where it was a future where Superman was evil and he had gotten captured. And then right when he woke up from that nightmare, he seen Barry like coming through some type of a portal trying to tell him that, he goes, "Oh, I'm too early.
Yeah.
It's Lois.
Yeah.
Lois Lane's the key."
That's right.
Yep.
So then after that, that's when that military ship that Bruce had, Cyborg fixed it.
Yes.
And
with ease.
Yeah, with ease.
No issue.
So, it flies down and the team gets on that ship and they go flying away. So then it goes to Steppenwolf at his base.
At his base.
At his base.
At his stronghold.
Stronghold.
And the mother boxes are now united into one.
Yes. And apparently everyone can feel it now.
Yeah.
Like Alfred felt it.
When he stuck them together, it made like this sonic boom that echoed throughout over the whole world.
Yeah, like everyone felt it.
Yeah.
Which is
so
crazy.
the three boxes come together to form the unity. And it kind of jumps back and forth a little bit here.
A little bit, yeah.
And Batman drops the team off. And he basically go over the plan again real quick.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yin's guys are going to do this. I'm going to fly my plane over here and try and shoot my way in."
Yeah.
Which he does. And in the original one, I think, like I said, we haven't seen it in a while, but in the original one, I think that Batman had tried to fly into the dome before, and he shot one rocket, portal opened up, and he flew right in. Where in this one, he fired the one rocket, and it wasn't powerful enough. He had to kind of loop back around, and he was like, "All right, I'm just going to unload everything."
Yeah.
And he shot a whole bunch of rockets, and then it's kind of squeezed in at that time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But Batman gets in, and he, as soon as he gets in, he flies towards that central tower that is basically holding this dome in place. He takes that out, brings the dome down. Now the whole team can get in.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So then the heroes attack Steppenwolf's stronghold.
Yeah. Batman actually crashes his ship.
Yeah, right after that. Yeah.
Yeah. He tells Barry over, their little like earpieces or whatever. He's like, get the team to the Unity. And then all of a sudden, those freaking bug people creatures.
Parademons?
Yeah. They start attacking Batman. And then Batman actually ends up leaving the ship in his Batmobile.
Yes.
And starts driving away.
And Batman was utilized much better.
Yes.
In this version.
Yeah, in the last version.
He didn't seem like so out of place.
Yeah.
It's like, Batman doesn't have powers, but he does got really cool gadgets.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne is considered the greatest detective on Earth. He's super smart.
Super smart. Yes.
So between that and all the cool gadgets,
in the last movie,
he can hang in there with the rest of them.
Yeah, it was like in the last movie, it was like he just like hung back with
Kinda.
a gun
Yeah.
and shot it now and then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had his grappling gun.
He was completely out of place.
Yeah.
It just didn't make any sense. So now it's, he's in the Batmobile. There was like a grenade launcher on it, and he blew a bunch of those parademons up.
Right.
So they actually get on top of the Batmobile as he's driving.
Yeah, we get that quick, the steel frame. It goes slow motion. They do a quick steal, and then it continues on with the whole team together.
Yeah.
Charging towards Steppenwolf's fortress.
Yeah, absolutely.
I dug it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I ate this movie up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Overall, I fucking loved it.
Yeah. And while all this was going on, there was a part that we seen where Clark actually goes to his ship and he's looking at all the suits.
Yes.
And we see that he puts on the black Superman
He's
suit.
looking at all the suits. There's a couple different suits that pop out.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was like, what suits are these? But upon closer look, one of the suits is the same as like what Zod wore in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
You have, of course, his red suit. Another one was a Kryptonian outfit.
Mm-hmm.
That like something he probably would have wore back on his own planet.
Yeah.
And then the black suit.
Mm-hmm.
And the black suit has a strong significance
Okay.
in the comic books, and the reason people really wanted to see it here is because in the comics, when Superman died, when he came back, he needed the black suit because it helped absorb more solar energy.
Okay.
And he needed that to keep his strength up and regain his strength quicker because his body wasn't 100%.
Okay.
Now, if you notice in this movie, after he puts on the black suit, he goes outside and he has a very reminiscent scene of Man of Steel where he puts his hand down and the rocks start floating and he flies off. He flies right up into outer space in front of the sun and he puts his arms out and it's the sun beating on him and he's absorbing the solar rays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about.
Well,
and then
he stops and sees Alfred.
yes, I was going to say, let's mention that real quick, too.
Yeah.
He stops by to see Alfred, and we've seen that before, too, except he was in the red suit.
Yes.
And he goes, let's hope you're not too late, you know, because Superman, and the S means hope, and we all get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to the battle.
Yeah. Aquaman and Cyborg are attacking Steppenwolf at this point.
Well,
And
listen,
Diana joins in.
real quick, there are a lot of things happen in this battle.
Oh my God, tons.
I didn't want to miss out on Aquaman surfing on a parademon down the side of a building,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And getting launched by, who was it, Cyborg. So
Yeah.
He was flying through the air. Cyborg grabbed him up and then launched him through the air.
yeah. That
he was all
pretty
like,
cool.
woo!
Yeah, he always does that.
Like a bro.
Woo! Badass.
Hell yeah, he's like the surfer.
I
The
know.
surfer bro of the Justice League.
We could go down every single thing that happens.
Yeah.
But we're not going to.
I just want to point out some of the
Basically,
highlights.
Yeah, basically we're just going to point out the highlights because it's like at first they're kicking Steppenwolf's ass. Then all of a sudden Steppenwolf starts kicking their ass.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, you know, back and forth and back and forth.
Cyborg, and while this is all going on, Cyborg, he gets up to the mother box.
Yes, he's trying to break it apart.
And it's the same issue. He needs that jolt.
Yep.
And Barry's going to bring that jolt of energy, so he goes outside of the compound and starts doing laps.
Yes.
Because he's going to build up speed. He's going to go up to light speed.
Yes.
Right? And so he runs laps for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
He runs laps for like a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, while he's doing this, they're all inside, like I said, fighting back and forth. At one point, they thought, you think Steppenwolf is going to, get him, but then Superman comes in.
Oh, my God, it was so awesome.
Superman starts fucking whooping his ass.
Yes.
Whooping ass.
Hardcore.
Big time.
Punches him so many times in the face.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah. But...
Thank you, Zach. I just want to take a moment and thank you personally for bringing me Black Suit Superman punching the shit out of somebody's face.
Yay! So anyways, while he's doing that, Barry's running around outside, and a parademon actually shoots Barry.
Yes.
And Barry actually,
right in the leg.
Yeah. Well, he gets hit in his side.
In the side.
Yeah, in the side.
Right in the side.
And Bruce sees this because he's still outside.
Yes.
And he's like, Barry, you okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, I just had the wind knocked out of me. I just need a minute. Meanwhile, we see that he got hurt pretty bad. I mean, there's like a big chunk that's like burned on his side. Yeah. And he's like, come on, heal.
Yeah, because
he's not healing.
Well, it does start healing eventually. But he had to wait. He had to wait for his metabolism to kick in. Because he does have super fast healing.
Yes.
But it takes a moment.
But while he was waiting, shit was going on inside, and
they were still fighting.
And Cyborg was saying, oh crap, it's too late.
Yeah.
And at this point, a portal opens, we see Darkseid on the other side.
Yeah.
And Cyborg's like, it's too late. And then all of a sudden it just explodes. And you see everybody,
vaporized. Everybody there was vaporized. And
it was coming up to him.
Yeah, like the shock wave of the blast was coming out, and in that moment, Barry, he does one of the coolest moments in the whole movie.
Oh,
he steps into the Speed Force, and it's like he steps into it. Like, does he just activate it?
I have no idea.
Oh, because it was like he was standing still in the Speed Force.
Going like holding his hand out,
and he goes through. You hear the words from when he was speaking with his father earlier in the prison.
Yep.
You hear those words, and he's kind of reciting some of the things about like, you're gonna be proud of me, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
As he's running back in time, and I thought it was super cool how, like, as he took his steps, like, he was running back in time, and there was nothing there, but when he stepped, that portion of time reappeared. Yeah. And then we got the wide shot, and you could see time coming in as he ran back in time.
Yeah, you could see the road reforming.
Yeah.
Like piece by piece.
Yeah, it was cool.
So cool.
Very cool.
So then
Bravo.
We see,
Bravo.
That's not it.
Bravo, Zack Snyder.
Bravo. Okay, so then once everything is back, Barry fixed it. Good job, Bear.
Right in the nick of time, as he brings time back, was right at the moment that Barry needed to be there, and he hit him with the old static cling.
Yes.
The old static charge.
So then
Barry rubbed his feet on the carpet and zapped him.
Exactly. And that's when Cyborg was able, actually he was like just about ready to break it apart, and then he was like, Superman!
He needed Superman's help.
And they both
fought, they got him pulled apart, they separated the Unity.
Yep. And at the same time,
they're still fighting Steppenwolf.
Yeah, Superman punches Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Aquaman hits him as well, and then Diana cuts his head off with the sword, and his body and his head goes flying into the
Through
portal.
that portal was still there
Yeah.
with looking at Darkseid.
And Darkseid actually steps on Steppenwolf's head.
Steppenwolf's head.
Steppenwolf's head.
Crunches his head.
Yeah.
Crunches
Yep.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
It was cool. And then the portal closes. And
They Zack Snyder, HBO, whatever, they utilized that R rating perfectly in this movie.
Yes, they
in
did.
my opinion, like, the blood and gore wasn't extreme. It wasn't like torture porn stuff.
Yeah.
It was, like, someone got hit up against the wall, there's a little blood on the wall and a little splatter.
Yeah.
The Darkseid, when he got hit, there was some blood there. And they dropped a couple F-bombs, and the F-bombs they dropped, I feel, were in good use.
The best F-bomb was in Bruce's nightmare.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So after that,
Yeah, they cut his head off, they crunch his head, and then
that's it.
Pretty much we get the.
And then you go to the epilogue.
Well, hold on, you got to get the 6 heroes standing on the rim of the power plant.
Yeah, in superhero stance.
In the superhero stance.
Yep.
And Superman helps Batman up.
Yep.
And they in slow motion.
Of course, in slow motion. Yes. But it was pretty cool. And then the epilogue.
Yes, we go into the epilogue. That was basically the end of the movie.
Yeah.
All right. The epilogue, the material that we got in the epilogue, some of it is like the closing of what this movie would have been. And then like the nightmare scene, that was going to be a post-credit scene.
Okay.
If I understand that correctly.
Okay.
So,
well,
okay,
the epilogue,
start us off on that.
Okay. The epilogue, we see Cyborg at home. He actually uses his powers, and he reverses the tape recorder that he crushed, and he ends up listening to his dad's message. And his dad, tells him that he's proud of him. And then we see Cyborg, he's happy with himself. Aquaman, he's at the sea. He tells Marina and, what's the other guy's name?
Mira.
Not Marina. Mira.
Mira and Falco.
Yeah. He tells them he has to go see his dad. He hops in the back of a truck and drives off, drinking his flask, of course. Like I said, that dude smells like fish and whiskey.
He's got a drinking problem.
Yes, he does.
A little bit.
Bruce and Alfred, they both walk into the mansion there, and it was like a destroyed room, all rubble and stuff.
That was Wayne Manor.
Yes.
And that's another portion of the extended universe that we did not get.
Yes.
When Robin went after the Joker, I guess the Joker killed him and then burned down Wayne Manor.
Okay.
So that's the ruins of Wayne Manor, which is going to be the Hall of Justice for the Justice League.
Yeah, because he was talking about renovating it. Yeah. And he wants the table, in the middle.
With 6 chairs and room for more.
Yep. And Diana walks in behind him, blah, blah. Then we see Barry at the jail with his dad.
That bitch wears heels everywhere.
Oh, God, I know.
Right?
Her feet have got to be filled with blisters.
Okay, not only that, but like the Wayne Manor, when we see them walking up to it, they're walking through that big grassy field.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry, I've worn heels in grass. They get stuck in the mud.
I would think.
They do.
Okay.
They do. Yes, it sucks.
Don't want to speak out of my leg, but I'm just thinking heels would be a bad choice.
A very bad choice.
Yes.
She's got to have blisters by now.
Yeah.
And then we see Barry at the jail with his dad.
Yes.
He shows his dad that he got a job at a crime lab.
Yes. Got his foot in the door.
He got his foot in the door, and his dad is super happy and keeps saying, he got his foot in the door.
Yeah, he's all excited for him.
And then we see Clark at the farm. The furniture's being brought into the house.
Yes.
With Martha and Lois.
Bruce got the house back for him.
Yeah, and he asks Bruce, how'd you get the house back from the bank? And Bruce says, well, I bought the bank.
You're right.
Why couldn't he just
buy the house off?
Yeah, just buy the house off. It's cheaper.
You really didn't have to buy the whole bank, Bruce.
No,
but we get it. You have a lot of money.
Yeah.
We get it.
You wanted that ego to show.
Yeah.
So then we see
rent. Yeah, we get it. Bruce Wayne is rich.
Yeah. So then with Batman, we see the bat signal is lit in the sky.
Yep.
He's standing on a building, and
doing his Batman thing.
Batman pose. Diana, we see her at that spot. She's
with
holding
the arrow.
We see
missing
Flash,
home because here
missing home. Yeah.
Originally, I think it was originally the second Wonder Woman movie.
Okay.
Okay. Originally, that was supposed to be Diana finding her way back to Themyscira, and that was kind of opening that up for that storyline.
Yeah, but instead we got Wonder Woman 1984.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Nope, me
we
neither.
will not review that.
No, absolutely not.
Terrible movie.
Not worth it. Then we see Flash running around town, and he's speeding around. He's all happy and smiling.
Hell yeah.
And then we see Clark, and he walks in town with his coat and glasses.
Yep.
And he takes them off, and he rips open the coat, and it's the black Superman suit underneath.
Yep, the classic Christopher Reeve pulling the jacket apart.
Yep. And then we think okay, well that's it.
That's it. Then this is where the post credits kick in.
Yeah. That's when we go to Arkham Asylum.
Yes, and this is we got a little bit of this before, but this is kind of an extension on that scene. We got more dialogue. We get an extended Arkham Asylum scene where we see the security guard or whatnot, and he's taking all the prisoners out for recess or whatever, and he looks back and he sees there's one prisoner left, and it's a bald prisoner, and he's looking away, so we're led to assume that it's Lex Luthor.
Well, he's saying Luthor, right?
Yeah, Luthor, come on out of there. And when he walks up to him and turns him around, it's not him. It's just some crazy guy, and he starts laughing maniacally.
Yep.
Then we cut to a yacht, and we hear the Lex Luthor theme music from Batman vs. Superman, and it's Lex Luthor on a yacht, and a boat comes up to the yacht, and who comes out of the yacht but Deathstroke himself.
Yeah.
Played by Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, I love him as Deathstroke.
Yes. It's a shame we're probably never going to see more of him as Deathstroke.
I'm sad about that. I'm glad that I don't have to see what's-his-face as Lex Luthor anymore.
But then Jesse Eisenberg.
I don't like him as Lex Luthor.
Nah, I didn't really care for his Lex Luthor either.
I'm not calling him a pipsqueak. I'm saying him playing Lex Luthor.
Playing that part. No, I get it.
Looks like a pipsqueak.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor's supposed to be, Mr. Badass. And he just doesn't fit the role.
Lex Luthor is more of a mind than he is a brute.
I understand that, but you get what I'm saying.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You wanted somebody taller. I get it.
Taller and more of a man. Jesse Eisenberg, he will always look young.
Yeah?
He is not Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Henry Cavill.
Right.
And Jesse.
Yeah.
Those two don't go together. Lex Luthor is Superman's arch nemesis.
Yeah. Because he outthinks him.
I don't give a shit. He's a pipsqueak compared to Superman.
Doesn't matter.
It's like Superman just flicks him and boom, gone.
That goes for any human.
Get it?
Yeah. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Just saying, don't like him as Lex. Continue.
Where are we at? Oh, yeah, we just had Deathstroke board the boat.
Yes.
And Lex Luthor basically teases the League of Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Legion of Doom, I should say. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I can't wait for you trolls to start yelling at us, right? Start leaving some shitty comments.
Bring it on.
It's not the League of Doom, it's the Legion of Doom.
Bring
it's not
it on.
the Legion, it's the Legion.
Legion.
It's the Legion of Chickens.
Legion. All right. Bruce's nightmare.
Bruce's nightmare. We had heard rumors of, or not rumors, but reports of reshoots for the Zack Snyder cut. And those reshoots were for this portion of the movie.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I didn't know when this was coming. I was waiting for this the entire movie.
Yeah, I remember I was asking you. I was like, where the hell's the Joker at?
For the most part, probably up until the final battle, I'm like, okay, it's going to be at the very end.
Yeah.
before the final battle, I'm thinking, okay, when are they gonna throw this in there? Because
We've seen the preview. Yeah.
We're starting to run out of room to where it would make sense to be inserted.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, okay, we're up to the final battle. That's not even gonna make sense.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the rest of this movie.
Well, in the epilogue, remember, I looked at you and I said, "Where the hell's the Joker at?" And you're like, "Just give it a moment.
It'll come.
Give it a moment."
Oh, I looked a little unthrilled.
I know.
I was like, it's coming. Anyway, it does come, and we get it. And it's this futuristic dystopia after Darkseid had taken over. And he had influenced Superman and basically has him running around doing some dirty work for him.
Yeah.
And we see Batman, we see Cyborg, Mira, Deathstroke, which is pretty cool. Joe Manganiello came in for reshoots.
Yep.
Barry Allen Flash.
Yep.
And we see his...
you say Cyborg?
I said Cyborg.
Okay.
Barry Allen's futuristic outfit that we seen from Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
The helmet that opens up.
Yeah.
We see that. We get some more Mira with her terrible accent. And she talked this way.
Go ahead, let the bastard come. It's like, okay. So many people from England were probably so pissed off.
Here's the big thing. Like, the accent didn't bother me. It really didn't.
It did with me?
Okay. The accent itself did not bother me. It didn't take me out of the movie. She wasn't in the movie that much.
It was an insult to the British people.
But in Aquaman, the movie that came out afterwards, she was not British.
I know. It made no sense whatsoever.
Originally, I believe she was.
And not to mention, I'm sorry, she's not a good actress. Not that great.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just saying, sorry, British people. I felt really bad for you guys because she just they were probably like, this bitch can't do it.
Anyway, we get back to we see all these characters in the future, and they're trying to come up with their plan.
Yes.
And then we hear some snickering in the background, and Batman turns around, and here we got Jared Leto's Joker, who's returned to his role from previously on Suicide Squad.
And it was he was horrible in Suicide Squad.
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
I agree. Go ahead. He redeemed himself in this role. I would love to see a full-length movie of him playing this character.
He did a little better. I wasn't, like, super impressed. I was more impressed. But I wasn't like, oh, wow, he fucking nailed it.
Okay, but this is what I'm getting at. This is a reshoot that was done at, like, last minute.
I get that.
Okay.
I get that.
Get him in the mindset of this version of the Joker and give him another shot where he has more of an active role. I'm not saying give me a Joaquin Phoenix-style Joker movie.
Yeah.
Give me another... I'd like to see a Batman with this Joker. Give me Ben Affleck Batman and Jared Leto Joker. Make it an Elseworld story, Warner Brothers. Make it an Elseworld story, and give me Ben Affleck Batman, Jared Leto Joker, Margot Robbie Harley Quinn.
I love her as Harley Quinn.
Give me a story with those characters. Show us Robin getting killed. Cast a Robin. Give me that story. I'd love to see it.
Like I said, he did better. It's just, I mean,
they trade
Jared Leto, I just think he needs to hang it up with the Joker. They need to hang him up as the Joker. If they want to do a different, like, they're going forward with another Batman thing,
we're probably not going to get another
Jared Leto.
No.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to get any more Zack Snyder verse.
Yeah.
Although, it is already trending. Everything Warner Brothers has dropped on Instagram, YouTube. Like, they drop trailers for, like, Godzilla, Kong, and stuff like that. Every single comment underneath is hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. So, I'm game. Hashtag, how the girls do it?
Hashtag. All right, finish up the nightmare scenario.
The nightmare scenario, Joker and Batman have a little bit of dialogue with each other, and it gets a little heated.
Yeah, it does.
And Joker talks about, why you would send a boy wonder to do a man's job. Talking about Robin coming after him. But from what I understand, Robin went after him on his own account.
Yeah.
Okay, to try and prove himself worthy.
Yeah.
All right, because from the comic lines, Batman had not been treating him very well. So he wanted to prove himself, went after the Joker, and it didn't work out for him.
And he ended up getting killed.
So they discussed that, and then Batman comes back at him with, when Harley was dying in my arms, she made me promise that when I kill you, and believe me, I will fucking kill you.
I know, when he dropped that F-bomb,
Yes.
that was the best F-bomb throughout the entire movie. Ben Affleck.
Best F-bomb of the year.
Great job, Ben. Great job.
Best F-bomb of the year.
Good job.
I dig it.
He did good.
Joker got a little shaky
He did.
after that. When he
Yeah.
started talking about Harley,
Oh, yeah.
he started getting shaky, and he gave him the truce card, and they go
Then
their
he
separate.
laughed it off.
and
Like,
he started-
you almost
yeah.
had me.
He started laughing it off.
Yeah.
Batman turns back to the group, and they're talking about going on with their plan, and then Superman shows up.
Yeah.
Superman shows up. He's looking at him. His eyes start lighting up red, and then that's when Bruce wakes up.
Yeah.
Bruce wakes up from his nightmare, and
So then we see
he's in his glass house.
Yeah, we see that Superman was the bad guy in that version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was that's the future where Lois had died.
Mm-hmm.
So Bruce wakes up from his nightmare. He's in this glass house, and he can hear like a whooshing sonic sound in the air.
I thought it was going to be Superman.
That's what I thought too.
I, honest to God, thought it was Superman.
But it wasn't. It was Martian Manhunter. Here's our second appearance
Yeah.
of it was the General from Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows up again, and he's like, I finally realized that I have a stake in this world as well. It's like, thanks for showing up a little late, buddy. We just got done fighting fucking Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Exactly.
I know you were messing around with Clark's old lady. You know what I mean? I know you were there. Okay, I got surveillance. I got tabs on all this stuff.
It's
So
like,
where were you?
yeah, like
John Jones.
I just
dude.
don't get why he had to be in this movie.
It's just fan service. I get it.
Doesn't make any sense.
The movie could have done without him.
Yeah.
Fan service.
Absolutely. Yep. But yeah, like you said, he said that he has a stake.
Yes, I have a stake in things now. I have something to fight for.
Yeah. Well, just like
and Bruce kind of had a snarky look on his face
Yeah.
too. He's like, "Well, we could certainly use the help."
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably thinking like,
You're too late.
"Where were you last week, buddy?"
Exactly.
But
But like the history of Martian Manhunter,
Yeah.
his home planet was Mars, and yes, now Earth is his new planet.
yes,
And yes, he wants to protect it. He doesn't want anything going wrong on this planet because of a civil war that happened in Mars.
right.
It destroyed his home planet.
Now, if I remember, I think he's very old. He was around
Yeah.
during the Martian Civil War and
Yeah.
had something to do with like the extinction of their people. Like he kind of takes a blame for it. It might not have been something he actually did, but he takes a blame.
They
has
said
blame.
that he is one of the last of his kind. I don't know
right.
if
There's other
any
ones.
more.
There's a
Yeah.
couple other ones that have shown up here and
Yeah.
there in the comics. And then there's I think there's like a white Martian race
Okay.
that actually like they have powers that mirror the Justice League powers,
Yeah.
and they had fought them at one time or another in the comics.
Yeah.
So They could have done without Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
I mean, but did he hurt the overall story?
No.
No.
Because he didn't have that big of a story arc.
If they're gonna give us a 4-hour movie, might as well throw him in there.
Yeah.
If they're gonna give us a 4-hour movie, I would have liked to have seen a Green Lantern maybe in there somewhere.
That's what a lot of people were thinking. That's who was going to show up at the end.
The original promo material back before BVS.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the posters? It was Jason Momoa,
Mm-hmm.
and he was holding the trident, and it said "Unite the Seven."
Mm-hmm.
There were supposed to be 7.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter made the 6th,
Mm-hmm.
and Martian Manhunter or Green Lantern would have made the 7th. Martian Manhunter they added to the roster later.
Okay. Yeah, because I was about to say there were 6 of them already.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it was Unite the 7, and I think they probably just threw this Martian Manhunter in because it would have been easier.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Reynolds said no.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
The Green Lanterns that they've tried
His
to
Green
do,
Lantern movie was fucking terrible.
and he knows it too.
He knows it too.
Yeah, and that's why he's like,
I love
no.
how he makes fun of himself in the Deadpool movies.
I know, it's great.
He
He
shot
ma- he
himself
makes
in the back of the head in the last one.
He makes a perfect Deadpool.
Yes.
Perfect. And he knows that the Green Lantern was just a royal fuck up.
Yeah.
Just a royal fuck up.
Well, they CGI'd his entire costume.
Exactly. It's like, why? You didn't have to do that. Hollywood, you got enough fucking money.
Yeah.
You could have came up with something pretty damn cool.
I think they thought, I think at the time they thought that was going to be cool because they were kind of advertising the idea of them having this 100% CGI outfit.
Yeah.
But, you know what's funny is, like, they've gotten so much better with that technology that you don't even realize that a lot of these superhero shows, their costumes are CGIs.
Yeah.
CGI'd. Spider-Man, minus a few shots,
Yeah.
is pretty much all motion capture, and they CGI the suit.
Look at Vision.
Vision, he's a lot of motion capture. Tony Stark,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. If you look at the behind the scenes in like the first Iron Man movie, Robert Downey Jr. he's wearing like this big plastic outfit, you know, that it's like the actual Iron Man suit that they had to make for him to wear, and it was all awkward for him.
Yeah.
Each movie that has gone by, the amount of equipment and costume that he wears becomes less and less and less and less. And then ultimately by like Endgame, he didn't have to wear anything anymore.
Yeah.
Couple shots he had something on. But other than that, he was pretty much motion capture, just like Bruce Banner.
Well, all I'm saying is, you know, back to Green Lantern, okay? Thanos. They had Josh. I always want to call him.
John.
Yeah, it's Josh Brolin.
Josh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Josh and James Brolin. I always
James.
get James is his dad.
Brolin.
And I said James Brolin. Okay. Anyways, any of you Friends fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, Josh Brolin. Okay. He, I mean, they made Thanos. He was pretty much, he was all CGI.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And they made him look really good.
Yes.
Okay. Where you have Ryan Reynolds, where, I mean, yeah, they made his mask and his suit CGI, but I mean, it was him. And they did a shittier job on a human being versus an entire character that was CGI. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, I think that they were lazy with the Green Lantern. I think it came down to laziness, really.
I don't know, laziness. It was kind of the beginning of that technology, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. What the hell year did that movie even come out?
That's true. I didn't even think about it.
Let me know in the comments down below.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even
When
remember.
did the Green Lantern, the garbage Green Lantern movie come out?
I can't even remember.
And you know what's sad is we haven't revisited Green Lantern at all since then.
No, we haven't.
I'd like to see a decent live action.
You know they're going to come out with another one.
I'd like to see a nice... I would love to see DC...
Yeah.
get their shit together
Yeah, DC is so far behind.
and start putting something together.
Marvel was on
They
a
are
fucking
still
roll.
they are still going 100 different directions.
Yeah, because nobody's on the same page. Marvel, I mean, they have shit planned for years.
They need a Feige.
Yeah.
They need a Feige.
Yeah.
And I vote Zack Snyder. He needs to be the Feige of the DC universe.
Yes, he does.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just keep it in. I like the dark style of it.
But see, a lot of people bitch about the dark style. They're saying, Marvel, they love Marvel because it's not dark and everything.
They can keep the style. Like, what I mean by the dark style is, like, when you watch a Marvel movie or show now, it has that feel.
Yeah.
It has that tone.
Yeah.
Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy are two completely different movies, but they still feel like a Marvel movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
You know the difference between a Marvel and a DC.
Where, like, you got Man of Steel, Superman, and then you got Wonder Woman 1984, and you feel like they're not even in the same universe.
No.
And then you have movies like The Joker, which aren't in the same universe. And the Matt Reeves Batman with Robert Pattinson that's going to be coming out.
Yeah. I wonder how that's going to be.
I'm excited for it.
I'm
I think it's going to be very good, but
is it going to be too dark?
It's not part of this universe. And it looks like it's going to be dark and gritty,
Yeah.
which is good for, my opinion, that's a good thing. Batman should be dark and gritty.
Batman, yes. Absolutely.
And I've come around to Robert Pattinson. I think he is a hell of an actor.
Oh, he's very
And
good.
I'm very curious to see what he does with this role.
Oh, me too. No, I'm saying Batman, yes. Batman's always been dark and gritty. It's Gotham,
Yeah.
As far as Superman goes, Wonder Woman, like a lot of people, yes, they love Zack Snyder and the way that he directs and everything. But at the same time, they don't want DC, all of the movies, becoming that dark style like Batman is.
I get that. I mean, like Shazam.
I love Shazam.
I love that movie too.
DC did a great job with Shazam.
And you can't really do that movie dark.
No.
It has to be a lighthearted, How did they describe that? It was like a mixture of Back to the Future and
I forget.
I forget how they tried to describe that.
Yeah,
Between Back to the Future and Indiana Jones or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. It was pretty cool. I love that movie.
I like it. They finally announced that they're going to be doing the Black Adam movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He's going to be playing Black Adam.
Okay.
That's going to be very interesting. And they were originally supposed to, which I don't know if this is going to happen now. They were going to do the Shazam movie, which they did. And remember at the end they had the post-credit, and it was supposed to be Superman showing up.
Yes.
But they never actually show Superman. Then the second one was going to be like another self-contained story with Shazam and Black Adam. And this was going to be after the Black Adam movie. And then, like, the third one, it was all going to come together, and it was going to have to be, like, Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam. But they're obviously not going to be doing that now, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you said, DC's just all over
They're
the
a
place.
mess. They're a mess. They're all over the damn place.
Until they get their shit together, they're going to have to just chalk it up to Marvel's always going to be in the lead.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
Is what it is.
Welp.
That's it, folks. I think we've rambled on long enough.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, we've rambled on long enough today.
Yeah. We really hope that you enjoyed
Yes.
our breakdown/review
Yes.
of the Snyder Cut.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen it and you listen to this, well, go see it. Even though we spoiled it for you.
What's that?
I said if you haven't seen the Snyder Cut
Oh.
and you've watched this, we spoiled it for you, but go check it out.
Yeah, well, like, what the hell are you still doing here?
Exactly. But no, we enjoy you.
Yeah, very good, worth the watch.
Yeah.
We don't have a rating system yet.
I know. We still got to come up with.
Got to come up with something. Thumbs, toes, and Tupperware are taken, so we got to figure something out here.
Well,
for right now, it's awesome.
Yeah. FnA, it's awesome.
FnA, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Yep.
Hit the subscribe button.
Yes. Be sure to leave us an iTunes review.
Leave us a comment down below.
Be sure to
let us know what you think.
Yeah, be sure to share, spread the word, tell your friends, tell your folks, tell your family,
tell your dad.
Yeah, absolutely. And be sure to check us out in a
hide
day
your
or
moms,
two.
hide your kids.
Be sure to check us out in a day or two where we will be covering
Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 2.
Just about to say that. So.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, guys. Thank you again.
Thank you. I'm Fred.
I'm Adrienne.
And we're FnA.
Take care. Bye-bye.